All right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely evening in which the Most High, a higher has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming today with a message titled Father Yah, I am sorry. Father Yah, I am sorry. Father Yah, I am sorry. I say this because a few days ago, I was lying down and I just sprung up out of nowhere and went to my desk and decided to read the word. And when I come upon the word, it was speaking to me about charity, charity, charity. And it wanted me to really do a search on that word. So I began to search that word and realized it was a word that was placed there in the instructions and direction guide to really kind of throw us off. And I'm sorry, Father Yah. Mm, 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 mm. I'm sorry. Even though we know that He knows our goings, our comings, our ups and our downs, it still doesn't, to me, escape the fact that I want to say I'm sorry. I used to pray, Father, help me to be the best that you know that I could be, for I know not. And I come to terms with the fact that, yes, He knows all things, and you can only be the best that He know that you can be. We search to be the best out of our own self understanding, not understanding that the Father ain't looking for our best. He looking for His best. Why is He looking for His best? Because He knows the best that we can be. We know not, but He knows all things. So we chase this thing about trying to do this and trying to do this and trying to do this, trying to be this and trying to be this and trying to pray like this and speak like this, dress like this and eat like this. And He's sitting high and low on all four corners. Can He see and behold all things? So when He was asking me to do that search on charity, I was like, Father, it's something about that. As I began to read, and He said that it was placed there just to throw us off. And the reason why I want to say I'm sorry, Father, for so long have we been so far from who you are, what you are, your word itself. We are so distant, but we're not at a place where He didn't know we would be. So if we fall out in the deep, He knew before the foundation of the world we would be far out in the deep. If we lost without a cause, He knew that we would be lost without a cause. But I can't help but say, Father, yeah, I'm sorry. Because I, in the last, say, 6 months, I've been riding high and I've been riding low on this word righteous, belief, faith, and fear. And, you know, it's deep, y'all, because I began to do the little in depth study. And I said to the Father, I said, but Father, the one who placed that in here is also the one who has titled its organization this name. And it's called Catholic Charity. The biggest in the whole world. In case y'all didn't know that. Catholic charity. That's why we see charity in the book, y'all. It is not of Yah charity because it does not represent what he stand for and what he mean. And as I show you this, just in the verses, in the scriptures, in the chapters, just so you can see how easy it was for them to place it there. They also was the head over this whole orchestration as far as us being cursed. They were the one that was given the mission to see it through. Who is that? Catholic charity. Me and my ex-husband had searched and searched this uh, logo, and we were trying to figure out why does this logo rest so highly here in Missouri on everything. I went to New York and all over New York, this same logo. And I was saying to the father when he said, do the search on charity, I'm going, he knew I was going to be surprised. But after being surprised, all I could feel is, I'm sorry. I mean, we never had it right, you guys. We think we all up on him. We think we all up on him. We right there with him. But we are so distant. And I'm sorry that I'm that distance from him more so than I am close to him. Even though he's present within me, how can we? This is where the sorry come in. How can I be so distant and you so close? It's because he saved something for last. He knew in this day, this hour, I would even be on here talking to you about what he revealed to me. It's almost like those who thought that he turned the water into wine. He didn't turn the water into wine. But because they say he did, who said it? The governor. The governor. We just took it as all his first miracles, never thinking, why would y'all send Yeshua down here to use his power? Think, y'all, think, to make wine for a bunch of people who did not have his best interest at hand. It doesn't make sense. But look how easy we flawed. Even to today, people will argue on this devil platform that he did make that do that miracle. Oh, yes, it did say that. Just like I'm finna show you charity. The one who, when the curse went down, let me say night went down, when it came down from heaven, it came into the hands of the Romans, the Catholics, as you can say today. That's who it came down to. That's why they're the biggest on the four corners right now. A lot of you all don't know that because you kind of into a lot of information. I said, let me say it like this: so many voices in the land. Spirit and truth is the last thing that's being spoken in this day and time. And again, I say, Father, Yah, I'm sorry. Now, as I was given this word to do that search, I said, but Father, it's been longer than a year. I knew this word charity didn't fit. I knew it. That's why I was saying to you all, it's just so strange how I know things, but I don't even, it's not something in me that really, how would I say, speak on it in a sense. It's always something that I know, but I say, okay, that's not, in a sense, that's not important. Let me just say it like that. But it is important. It is important. And it was important. When was it? Heavens orchestrated that because Ahia is righteous. They switched charity for righteous. And that's why a lot of people are confused that they're in his righteous will. They're doing whatever they doing, they calling it righteous. And they don't even understand that is who he is. You can actually call him righteous. When you praying, you can call him righteous because that's who he is. And Catholic charity, that's why they took on charity. And it's labeled. If you go to Russia, you hear Catholic charity. You go to China, you hear Catholic charity. It's all the four corners, you guys. So when you see us over here, as far as the ships and seeing to it that we get from those areas in Africa, over in Africa, many Catholic charity ruled Africa. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Oh yes. So I said, Father, they always had that. And the reason why, because I dealt with Catholic charity. So I'm going to speak on that. I worked with the nuns. I was a chef for the priests. The nuns is the nastiest mouth women on the face of the earth. They got sex, lust, uh, jokes that it's out of this world. It will blow your mind to hear the nuns talk. I worked with them for many years. I cook for the priests. Many, I ain't talking about no one priest. This is what I've done throughout my life. That's why I say every place I've been, y'all son me there. So I can tell what? Somebody something. Me and my ex-husband, we was talking today, and I was telling him the whole idea of my whole life, my whole steps that he had ordered me to go through the things I went through so I can tell somebody something. I will remember one time they took up a donation for me, and it was like $3,800 in less than a few days. That's just how they liked it me. They just gave me a lump sum. Sure did. And that wasn't the first time when I was working with them. So I'm saying this is why you're here. Not why. You're here because this is where the Father uh, 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 has orchestrated you to be in the heavens due to the curse itself, and that is out of the right hand of the Father. But to get it to be done, he had to give it to who? The worst of the worst on the earth to do what? To see it through. And that's why I can say that I'm sorry, Father Yah, because it's something to be sorry for, even though he knew it would be this day, not today, but a few days ago, that he would reveal to me that that was a word that was placed there by them in this book. So things you see that's smeared, only way what did I tell y'all? The only way it can get wiped up is through who? The Holy Spirit. That's who was showing me that word is out of order. It shouldn't even be in here, because when you get the definition of charity, it's to give, okay? But it is to give to the poor and the needy. It's an organization, as they call it. They call it an organization. And who's the biggest organization on the face of the earth? Catholic Charity. Yes. Yep, they bumping up with the Muslims, but the Muslim won't cross out the Catholic Charity. That's how powerful the Catholic Charity is, y'all. The Muslim wouldn't touch them. They're hiding and behind everything, just like this here captivity. They hiding behind it, and you would have never known they did it. Had I known, I would have never worked for them. No, no, no. What I know today is no way I would have worked for them. I was what, around about 28, up in going to my early 30s is when I used to be a chef for the priests and the nuns and the sisters. It was just the same. When that's what I used to do when I was younger. That was another place that I journey that the Father ordered my steps. That's why I tell y'all, when I'm on here, I'm not sitting here talking about he say, she say, or they say d. I'm telling you based on my experience and where the Most High has taught me, what He has taught me, and from where He's taught me, and that was in the wilderness, because that's the only way He can be able to teach me and get me to receive that which is coming from Him is in the wilderness. Because here you hear so many voices, so many people teaching, and it's about the flesh getting recognition, getting boast and boost and up high. He needed me to be up under him and him only. And I thank him today. I thank him for teaching me from the wilderness level, because that's what I know. It's not because some man or some woman come up out of nowhere and they know what they know. No, I got my teaching strictly from the Ruach HaKodesh. I am what you call truly a student of the Ruach HaKodesh for many of years. So when I get into this here thing and I start reading what he had spoke to me about, and I'm like, but Father, why now? They got away with too much. They got away with too much. Now I'm sorry I didn't catch it and I didn't really. And he knows that was a word I stumbled on. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. About 4 years ago, I stumbled on that word, but I left it alone. I left it right there. And the Father want me to know you left it there because I wanted you to leave it there, but I allowed you today to pick it right back up, because this is the day where that which was in the dark shall come to the light, Deborah, in the last days. So it's all right. But this is the thing about it. He went on and telling me about that word. And we're going to cover it because you got to see how they placed it in here. And it shouldn't even be there. Guess what should be there, you guys? Righteous, righteous, and righteousness. Just is righteous and righteousness, and righteousness and righteous is just. Instead, we see charity. The way they set it up as, if you were to give an organization and say, what is the biggest organization that gives to people? Guess what? Catholic charity. So they took a word and made sure it was implanted so it can represent them at all times. Because when he went to revealing it to me, first thing I said to the Father, I said, Father, it's this old wicked organization, Catholic charity, and they the wicked on the face of it. He said that's why they used it, and that's why I say I'm sorry. They were able to use it all these hundreds of years, and here we are. Don't even know that it really doesn't exist in the turn in the order in which it was placed. It was smeared because it keeps you from knowing what Sister Deborah been talking to you all about for the last 2 or 3 months. And what has that been? Branded. Let me go to Abraham right quick. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15. Let's go to Genesis chapter 15. Genesis chapter 15. There is a brand of the Most High. It's called righteousness, righteous, belief, faith, and fear. Those are four brands that came down on all those that have been, or the elects from the Most High. They have those brands. Because how I found out they had them was when I went to the Father. I said, hold up, these Gentiles, no, I just can't see them being grafted in, Father. They not these Gentiles. And he said, I'm looking at the worldly Gentiles who be's in the churches and in the Catholic or in Jehovah Witness. I'm looking at them. But he said, the belief and the faith that they were grafted in, Deborah, they were my brand. So they was grafted in before the foundation of the world. Just as my elects, they were also elected. They were grafted in before the foundation of the world, but was counted through Yeshua HaMashiach. They were counted through Yeshua HaMashiach, but they were already grafted before the foundation of the world. The lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. They were grafted in on two of them, and that was belief and faith. And as you go in, it'll tell you, as Paul was teaching the Gentiles, they were coming in and being grafted in through faith and belief of what? Yeshua HaMashiach, even though their faith and their belief was already checked out in the heaven. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Why? Because even the elects came down with righteous belief, faith, and fear. They were already checked out in the heaven. You see, so when they get down here, it didn't make them perfect. It didn't make them perfect when they get down here in the flesh. They came down to a world that's loaded with sin. You see? But when they come back, they're going to be able to come back. Why? That's that perfect he's talking about. You can't be perfect in the flesh, but you're going to be perfect in the spirit. Why? Because you come down here with my brain, and that's going to make you perfect in me. Because you left me, and you won't come back to me. Okay? Now watch this here. In Genesis chapter 15, as you go to verse 6, and he believed in Yah. Now see, Abraham believed in Yah. Don't forget, he believed when he was in the spirit, y'all. You'll believe too. You see, he was in the spirit. He wasn't in his, he was in the spirit when he believed. But listen what happened. And he counted it to him for righteousness. Yah counted Abraham for righteousness. Righteousness. When you are righteous, you in there, y'all. That's who Ahiah is. He is righteous. So that's how he's saying you counted in, bro. You counted in through righteous. Because I'm righteous. I got you under me. You're righteous, Abraham. So when you get over to the New Testament, you hear the greatest one is charity. How did that get in there? How can that charity override righteousness? Going back to what I was telling you about love. Because when you finish with love, how can we define Yah's love? Nobody can tell me. You know how you can tell me? 2 words. Give and gave. Look it up. Because defining it, how can you mimic? How can you mimic Yah's love? Give and gave. Because it's not the word love, it's give and gave. Everything he did was what he gave and what he gave. Bam, that's it. If somebody wants to say his love is this and his love is this and his love is this, okay, that define love. You know what shut them down? When they have to pull up give and gave and see how many times is give and gave in this book representing Yah over love. It'll blow their mind. It will blow their minds. But they wouldn't do that search. Because they in the backwoods trying to search for stuff that doesn't have any food for the spirit. And no food for the flesh either. To be honest. It's just them feeling that they want to be recognized. They want to be seen as somebody who knows something that someone else don't know. And we got to go way in the back to get it. No, you don't, baby. Because the Father just told me. When I woke up this morning, you know what he told me? He told me just like he tells me, oh, it's finished, it's finished. But this morning, he told me there's nothing left, Deborah. And I'm like, okay, what you mean? He said, this is when I opened my eyes this morning, still laying down. There's nothing left on the earth but even wickedness. And I laid there. I said, no, it's time to clean up. I'm going to go in here and clean up. And I just got up and started cleaning up. And what did I do that for? He dealt with me in the water, y'all. What he was saying. He said, the world is lawless. It's no law nowhere. It's lawless. And the people can't even see it. I said, but Father, no, this is dangerous. He said, no, what did I tell you? How many times have you told the people? I said, it's finished. That was a part of being finished. So while everybody going around here thinking that it's going to be a great day tomorrow and it's going to be he said to me, Deborah, there's nothing left on the earth but wicked and evil. And then guess what he told me? Go back to Revelation and see what I told the angels. And I said, but I heard when you said to the angels, you told the one angel to go tell the other four angels before they do something to the sea, the grass, and the trees, mark yours in the forehead. You said that. He said, that's what I'm telling you. You know why they were marked, Deborah? Because everything else is evil and wicked. And I needed to mark them. Mm, wow. So because I was saying to myself, I said, well, wait a minute. We already marked from heaven. Why do we need to be marked? Why do the angels need to mark us down here when we already marked in heaven? See, in heaven we spirit, on the earth we flesh. Mark minds. Mark them. Just as Satan got his, gonna have his marked and had his marked. Mark minds. And then that's what he was telling me. He was telling me all this in the water. When I started, I got when he come telling me all that's left. He said all that's left, Deborah, on the earth is evil and wickedness. I laid there for a second. I'm finna get up and clean up. That's what. And I did. Y'all should have seen me. I jumped out that bed, fed the dog, started cleaning up, and he was like, he got me in the water. He said, "You remember when in Revelation when I told the angel to go tell the other four angels before they do anything to the earth, mark minds? That's why, Deborah. I knew already that the world was evil and wicked, but minds ain't gonna get caught up in it. Praise the Almighty Yah. I'm telling you now. That's what it is. All that time I told you it's finished. You thinking, and I told you I'm not coming. That's what it was about, Deborah. Then he tells me, go to Proverbs. He said, you go to Proverbs. What did I tell you in Proverbs 16? And I'm sitting here in the water washing dishes, and it made me want to clean up everything. I mean, it was just like, oh. Then I went into Proverbs 16, and it was verse 4. He said, what does that say? And Ahiah has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the days of evil. Deborah, you see that word day? You see that evil? Didn't I just tell you all that's left is evil and wicked? Everything, the T's been crossed, the I's been dotted. And I'm like, even the wicked for the day of evil. So when he's telling me this while I'm asleep, I'm waking up, open my eyes. That's the first thing he gave me. And I'm like, so anything can happen. Yes. But wait a minute, hold up now. You know I'm trying to back it up into it. What about me? Anything can happen. Minds are marked. That's the only way I'm going to know if I'm in there. If I'm included in that mark. Because he just announced to me that it's nothing left. Now, him saying that to me, I jumped up out of the bed. Went straight into the kitchen, start cleaning up, fed the dog first, start cleaning up, just start cleaning up, because everybody was over here for the Super Bowl game. And I just left everything right where it was and went to bed. So I got up and started cleaning up everything, and I'm like, and as I was cleaning, I wasn't getting away with it. He wasn't finished with me. He waited good till I got to that kitchen sink where that water was. And he began to say these things to me. And I thank him for it, because the more and more I think of all of this, everything that he gives me, I think of how he don't have to. And when he do, I appreciate it. Even though it's words. Just imagine all those other prophets had to go out and tell the people, and had to get put up with getting beaten and stoned and murdered, because they were telling the people what I said the Most High. If when I look back at stuff like that, and I count myself still yet blessed by the Father, that such the end days still allow me not to have to step into that realm in which many price uh, or walk the same steps, but they lost their lives, y'all, trying to tell somebody the truth. So he said today, it's nothing left but evil and wicked. Then he went on to tell me it is lawless. Ain't no laws on the land. You know what? When he said that, this is going back to where I'm sorry, because a lot of this stuff I know, but I don't expound on it. I don't climb up on it, and I just put it to the side and keep it going on what I feel that he gives me, that one needs or need to. But when I'm thinking, I'm saying, wait a minute, now hold up. Is that why everything and people are doing the things? He said, that's it. When they find out mm, 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 that it's lawless, which many know it, because that's why they constantly out here doing things over and over and over and over, and nobody's saying anything. That's why you can see people conducting themselves a certain way, and no one says it. Look at the whole Hebrew Israelite movement. No unity, no care, no concern, no give or gave, no how would I say it? No Ruach HaKodesh that shows any type of compassion. No, nothing. And they content. Just walking around, we the people. And I'm like, so you telling me ain't nothing left for wicked and evil? Yes. And what's separate from the wicked and evil? Those that he has marked. And that's why he had them marked. So whatever go down. But outside of that, he's sitting here telling me it's a lawless in the land, all over the world. That's why and it makes sense though. It makes sense, because that's why all the things that's being released from heavens is being released to the earth, and the wicked and evil is taking it and manifesting it. Because what is their day? The day of evil. It's their time period. You see, we don't want to accept that. We don't want to believe that, but it's their time. And that's what he was saying. That's all he was saying. He said, Deborah said it in Proverbs. I created them for this day. Nobody just don't want to have no respect for his word. And that's what he was saying. He said, but it ain't going to stop it. That's why I'm telling you, there's nothing left but wicked and evil. And it's lawlessness in the land. I'm like, lawlessness in the land. But that's why people are doing the things they doing, and things are people so much is everybody getting away with stuff. Even everybody's trying to call right, wrong, wrong, right. You see? And they making everything okay. So when he backed me back up into Proverbs, he was showing me, see, didn't I tell you? I created the evil for the days, and wicked and evil for the days of evil. So there you go. Didn't I just tell you that in the bed this morning? This is how he was dealing with me. Because I was running, y'all. I got up and started cleaning up, trying to figure I'm going to get out of here and do something, because it was just as clear. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I came in, did all my cleaning. Felt really good too about it. I was looking over here for the piece of paper. Oh, here it is. He gave me. He gave me it. Yeah, that's what he says. Nothing on the earth left but evil and wickedness. And I got on here, it says, mark the forehead. That's what he was telling me. Oh, I got a lot of stuff on here. But I want to say to you, my message is about Father Yahuwah, I am sorry. Because I feel sorry that things is the way that it is. And it had to be orchestrated by him this way, that his will may be fulfilled, because he knew how wicked things were going to be in this day and time. He knew it before the foundation of the world. And like I was saying to him, sorry that I ain't the best that I know that I should be in this day and time. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry that I ain't the best that I should be in this day and time. And he told me, but you the best that I have created you to be in this day and time. Your best is not my concern in your flesh. It's your best is my concern in the spirit, because that's what I orchestrated your steps in the spirit. That in the spirit that it might get this flesh under the subjection to what I have orchestrated in it. This. So we're going to Corinthians chapter 1, verse 13. Corinthians chapter 1, verse 13. Chapter 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 through 4. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 through 4. Though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as a sound brass, or a tinkling cymbal. Now look how he said this here. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels. Okay. Notice he said men and angels. And have not charity. Charity. I become as a sound brass, or a tinkling cymbal. Verse 2. And though I have the gift of prophecy, prophesying, prophecy, and understand all mystery. There go that mystery. That's Sister Deborah. I might understand all the mystery and all the knowledge. And though I have all faith, there go faith, there go faith, there go faith in there, so that I can remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing. Now go back to verse 1. Though I speak with tongues of men and of angels, and have not righteousness, I am become as a sound brass, or a tingling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy, and understanding all mysteries, there go that mystery, and all knowledge. See that mystery, understanding all the mystery, and all the knowledge. And though I have faith, there go faith, so that I can move mountains. Okay? And have not charity, I am nothing. That's supposed to be righteousness. That's supposed to be righteousness. Because if it's anything like the Roman Catholics has placed it to be, and you look up it, does not mean anything that represents Yah. You have to look it up to see it. It's just a word that's been placed there. And if you know anything about the Catholic Charity, you'll know that that's their symbol that's been placed there. And what could they have taken away from their righteousness? Because here he said, I have tongues, I have understanding, prophesying, the mystery, I have knowledge, I have all the faith, I can move mountains with the faith, but have not charity, I am nothing. How can that be? It's righteousness, y'all. It's righteousness. Now, verse 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor. Stop. There you go. Now, let me see. Can y'all see that? Can you see that? Watch this here. Oops. 1 minute, you all. I got something learning. I wonder, can anyone see that? Anyone see that in verse 3? Anyone see that in verse 3? Can you see that? Now watch this here. Verse 3. Although I bestow all my goods to feed the poor. Wait a minute. I thought charity was to give to the poor and take care of the needy and the hungry. Watch this here. And though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profit me nothing. So it takes away that word charity. I don't know if charity. It takes away. It got here is saying in verse 3, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, it don't mean nothing. You can feed all the poor in the world. And though I give my body to be burned, you can give your body to be burned or whatever, and have not charity, it profit me nothing. So how could charity be what they say that it is? It's supposed to represent. How can it be? It's got to be righteous. It's righteousness. They took charity and put it there and took out righteousness, because in First Corinthians chapter 3, chapter 13, 1 through 3, 1 through 4, we're gonna go to 4. They using this word charity to represent an organization like the Catholic Charity, who always give. They give all over the world, but they are the biggest demonic. Now, I ain't gonna even say demonic, wicked and evil in its highest. Satan in his highest. That's his highest place, is amongst the Catholic Charity. The highest. That's where the Antichrist coming out of too. The beast coming out of the same thing. And they're using this saying Catholic Charity. Now, a lot of people want to say charity can mean love. Love is never going to outweigh this one word, righteousness. Never. That's where you have to do your study, and you'll say, wait a minute, something wrong with this picture. How could this love that they say? Some people take charity and call it the love. But then if you look it up, it's talking about giving to the poor and doing to the less fortunate and the homeless. You know, this is not, charity does not mean this as they got it here. It's supposed to be righteousness. And they put charity there in place of it, just like they did with love, to keep you from being what? A giver or a gave. See, people don't know when you give somebody something and you gave somebody, it makes a person feel different about you. You see what I'm saying? It even make you feel good. You see? So when we thinking that we can master, we thought we can master love. Why ain't no love nowhere on the earth? Where is it at? How where is it at? And how can we define it? Where is the word love? Some will say charity is love. No, it's not. It is righteousness. They place that there. And we're going to see that. Now, here it says, although I bestow all my goods to feed the poor. Now, this individual said they feed the poor. So why is it this word is trying to say if you don't have charity, that it is the worst of the worst? I mean, honestly, they feel that that is the number one. If you don't have that, you don't have anything. But what it was, they took that in place of righteousness. They removed righteousness and put that there. See, righteous has a powerful one of the number one powerful action behind it. Righteousness does. Charity, no. They want to place that as taking care or giving the poor, feeding the poor, of not just the poor, but just people giving and doing things, not doing things, giving. And even though they're trying to use it as love, you can't even use it as love because love is even being used the wrong way. I like just somebody to define y'all's love. And when they finish, all it's going to be 2 and 3, probably 4. If they give, say, if they give a definition of love, guess what's going to be in it? Give and gave, give and gave, give and gave, give and gave. So what? Wait a minute. You mean Sister Deborah's supposed to treat my neighbors like I would want to be treated? Okay. But I have to give if I want anything to be given unto me. I have to give if I want Yah to give me. You see, it's still a give and gave situation, even when you speak of love. But that has been placed in there as well. It should have been give and gave, so we'll learn how to give and gave one another. No one knows nothing about it. No one has any idea what give and gave is. No one. No one on the earth. Just like in Genesis chapter 1, talking about us in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. No one knows who us is. No one knows about the right hand and the stretched out arm. No one knows anything because things has been placed there to throw us off really what Ahia really stand for and really what he means. Even down to his name, his action, his whole creation. And because we don't know it, we just assume that whatever that individual put in here, instead of having the Holy Spirit that says, okay, I'll teach you and show you if you let me. Oh, we don't want to do that. Oh, I can't get you to teach me and show me. I believe in only what I can see. I don't want to believe in or trust in something I cannot see. And when you see here, now listen to verse 4, charity suffered long. Look, don't tell me righteousness does not suffer. See, they put the wrong thing in here. How? Okay, say for instance, they say that that's love. Charity is love. Love suffer long. Love now suffered long. What is love? Now watch this here. And is kind. Is kind. Charity. It doesn't make sense, you guys. Charity suffer long and is kind. Charity envy not. Charity, what is it? Vaulted not itself. It's not puffed up. All of these things. Why is that? Because it's righteousness. That's the only thing that needs to be there. It's righteousness. Righteousness suffer long. Because you can be, I said an example. You don't have, how do y'all think of, what do you think about how you do something right, and in spite of how right you do it, they still do you wrong? No matter how just you are, the system still lock you up for 40 years. This is, I'm telling you, just righteousness means just mean righteousness. So I'm just showing you why it's saying charity suffer long. Now, righteous suffer long. Because you can be righteous. Look at the disciples that the Father sent down to do his will. Those his righteous servants. Didn't they suffer? Look at Yeshua. Didn't he suffer? And he was all righteous. It's righteous, not charity. Okay, now watch this here. Suffer long and is kind. Righteous is kind. Righteous envy not. Not righteous. Was it righteous vaunted not itself? It vaunted, is that vaunted? Yeah. Not itself. Is not puffed up. Righteous can't be puffed up. So to me, somewhere along the line, ain't no somewhere along the line. And I'm going to tell you, that's the reason why I told him, Father, y'all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because when it all said and done, when you don't know righteousness, then you do not know the Father. And you're going to find that out tonight. So this here charity, it should have never been there. And I'm going to show you in every scriptures and every chapter where they put that there. And it does not really give you any insight of how you're supposed to step into this charity. Because when it's all said and done, it gives you nothing. Because it's nothing. Righteous should be the number one in the commandment. And they're saying that if you don't have charity, can someone pull up charity in Hebrew? And also someone pull up charity in English, your definition. And you would see that neither one of them gonna outweigh righteous, because it's telling you it's something you got to have. It says charity suffered long. That don't even make no sense, y'all. That doesn't even make sense. And it can't be love suffered long. That don't even make no sense. It's a sad thing that it's like that. But we're gonna go on. We're gonna go on. Let's go to verse 8. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 8. And verse 8 says, charity never faileth. That tells you righteous never faileth. Righteous. But where rather their prophecies, they shall fail. Rather there be tongues, they shall cease. Rather there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me charity, what did anybody get it? In Hebrew. Charity in Hebrew. Okay, you said, and if he wrote it in our hearts and minds, wouldn't we need the Ruach to activate it? But listen to this. Let's say he wrote it in our hearts and in our minds. And we do have the Ruach. What happened that we did not know? And that's where I'm saying, Father, I'm sorry. You see? It's because I'm like, I'm still at that standpoint that the word charity, you have to know what they say. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Righteous. There you go. But why though? Why do they do that? Why did they? I mean, it just took. Only thing I can think is for us to be. The Father had to have something connected to it, but this is why we so much is going on with us as a people. Now, see, you got the same thing. When I looked up righteousness, but commonly used to signify charity. That the true meaning is righteous. So who put that in there? The Catholic Charity. They the only one because they even claim the name. So I'm like saying, but what about everybody? That's why nobody knows that y'all brand his with righteous. Abraham was in the vision. And even though it says Abraham believed, what did the Father say after that? I counted you as righteousness. Why? Because righteousness is something, this is a brand that you come down here with. Righteousness, belief, faith, and fear. It had to be them. But isn't that sad? Because it's like, even with me, I'm going to tell you something. I have. When I'm in the wilderness, y'all, I ask Father all kind of questions. Cause I was like, what is this thing called charity? Why are they making this to be talking about? And you're gonna see what I'm talking about. They said it's the number one commandment. And I'm like trying to figure out wait a minute, hold up, y'all. How did we get off? How did we get so far off away? And that's why I say I'm sorry. And exactly. Righteous has been predestined. That's what a part of his predestined. Him predestined and foreknew and ordaining you. What are you predestined and ordaining us, for? Righteous belief and faith and fear. Now, when we get down here, we're coming from a heavenly level to a what? An earthly world. And what's down there? He said, Satan has already come down to deceive what? The whole world. So every one of us gonna sin and do some things wrong because Satan come down here to deceive the whole world. But can he deceive those who are branded with the Father's brand? Yes, he can deceive us, but we coming back because we are branded for his name's sake. We are already branded for his name's sake. That's why you saw David being able to commit adultery and lust and murder because he was already branded. It doesn't justify it and it doesn't clarify, nor does it make it righteous, but he's branded in his spirit by the Most Higher. And if y'all would look in it, look how the prophet told David that the Father say he forgive you. I'm like, wait a minute, what you mean you gonna forgive him? And guess where the punishment come to, y'all? It went to his wives and his children. Because a lot of people don't understand. One of his son raped the sister, and the other one killed the other. The other one's trying to kill David. The whole household was a mess. Why? Because of his sin. Because of what he had done. That was the consequence. But it wasn't going to keep David from being the seed that Ahiah had sent down with belief, faith, and righteousness and fear. See, we're branded for his name's sake. Can't nobody do nothing. Can't nobody take that from us, y'all. I don't know. A lot of y'all might not know that, but no one can steal that from us, y'all. Because if we're branded for his name's sake, that means we already got in us his righteousness. You see? So when we don't know what that righteousness is, because so many other words has been placed, and that's why I say If how could they go to so many other books and ain't even mastered this book? I mean, it's just through the Ruach HaKodesh. How can we just go every place and not master even this? That's why I say I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell you, I don't go to no other book. What he don't show me that's crooked or need to be smeared, I won't know. I wait on him because he's my teacher. I trust that he's gonna teach me all things, like he said. That don't mean I'm supposed to know everything. No. Give or take out 100, I might know 20. But whatever I know is what he allowed me to know. So that's why I was telling him I'm sorry, because I remember asking you several times about this word charity. Why was it up in there? It just didn't make sense to me. But now he tells me that it's a word that the power that bees have placed there and has been not recognized all the way up until today. He said they ain't recognized it, but just think. Go back to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. They don't even know who us is. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. So look at today, where we at. And they still don't know who us is. You see? They don't even know when he said let. He's speaking to his own power to bring forth. What he speak, that power bring forth. And it is. And his eyes said, ah. He said what? It is good. Because he saw what his own power did and he called it, and it is good. It is good. You see? So a lot of people today don't even know in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, us is his right hand, his power, all power. Present at the beginning. Kept created all things, his power. And that's why he took the only begotten, which was his only power. And he told Yeshua, you sit here on my right hand until I make the earth your footstool. How he's going to do that? With his power. You see, we don't know nothing. Nobody don't know nothing about it. But this here, y'all, this is off the chain. Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 through 4. I'm telling you, it's and then you go to verse 8. First Corinthians chapter 4. No, not 4, 13. First Corinthians chapter 13, verse 8. Charity never faileth. Look at the word never. Come on, somebody, talk to me. Never. Now, what is that? What's with this? How can we say that that's love? Did anybody pull it up in the English charity? Could anyone pull that up? And you'll see that what do that have to do with anything? Because without righteous, you ain't worth a dime. But we're going to find that out. Let's see if we can get someone to pull up. Let me pull it up right quick, since I should have had it. I'm sorry. I had it up here yesterday, and then did someone pull it up? Yes, it is. Oh, okay. You wrote it above. Oh, I didn't even get to see that. I'm sorry. Now listen to this. Charity, as you know it in English, a organization set up to provide help and raise money for those that are in need. Just like the fake Jews over in Israel. All the churches give them money, talking about they the true Jews. You see what I'm saying? All of this is just showing. Wait a minute. Let me finish this. Charity, charity, an organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need. That cannot be a definition that the Father would put above him. it would have to be something that someone else put above their organization, and that is the Catholic Charity. It's sad, and look how we sitting around here thinking we got it all nailed to the, and we just sit. It's sad. It's a sad thing. And they switched it for the word righteous, and those two have nothing in common. I know somebody might say love. No, you can't connect that and say that that's love. Because love, it shouldn't even be in there. Because if you had to define, if you had to stand in front of an audience of 200, or just say 100, and they ask you, what is Yah's love, and how do you know that that is it? And you know what? When you finish writing everything, you know what you're going to have down there? Give, gave. Because everything that has to do with him is what he gave and what he gave. That's just it. I'm sitting here. And it's got so many different translations from the fake Jews got they in charity. They got it in there. They into it too, y'all. It's so many definitions of the flesh of man. Everybody in the flesh they got it as a needy. Now, how could that be greater than anything? What about righteous? Say for instance, what did it say? Let's go back here. 1 Corinthians chapter 4. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 4. Charity suffered long. Now, how's that feeding to the needy? Charity suffer long. How's that feeding to the needy, or giving to the poor? Now watch this. And is kind. Charity. How can charity be kind? Now watch this here. Charity envy not. It don't envy. Charity vaunt not itself. Is not puffed up. Let's go to verse 3. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor. That means you build up, and you get things just so you can feed the poor. That's not charity. This is what it said. You see, it says, although I bestow all my goods to feed the poor. I thought that was charity. Now, how is it said, and though I give my body to be burned and have not charity, it profit me not. So wait a minute. I thought charity was given to the poor. But now you saying it's not. See? Because they put that there to throw us off of righteousness. And that's where we have failed the most higher. We have not desired his righteousness. We have not seek after his righteousness. Colossians chapter 3. We have not did any of that. Instead, we've been following the flesh of man, women and men, and have not seek the ruach for the righteousness. That's the only thing that's going to hold up, y'all. Righteousness. And he already said that righteousness is his brand. He has come down here with righteousness branded in them, in their spirit already. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 14. Let's see what that one says. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 14. And above all things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfection. Now watch this here. In all, verse 14, Colossians chapter 3, verse 14. And above all things, put on righteousness, which is the bond of perfection. Perfectness, perfectionness. Righteousness is, not charity. If you reverse love backwards, it says evo. And you do your search on Evo, it'll blow your mind. It has to do with demonic spirits. Even that word was put in there to keep you from knowing it's about give and gave, y'all. Everything, everything. And at the end, what is he going to do? He's going to give us a new Jerusalem. And what is he going to do after that? Give us eternal life. Do y'all see what I'm saying? When people are saying, and you're not going to hear love going to get you eternal life. Love going to get you to New Jerusalem. You ain't going to see it because love shouldn't have been there as well. It should have been give and gave. And what happened? That's why we cannot master anything in what we're doing and what we believe in because we don't have the proper information from the Spirit of Yah that we can run on with what we have and know that we can give to others what has been given unto us. Charity, it was a word put in there. And that's the word that they decided to clamp on to what? So when you say Catholic charity, then if the charity is the biggest thing, then we're consider it. See, people don't think of it like that. But that's on the four corners. You can call you can see Catholic charity in Russia, in China, UK, everywhere. Catholic charity is at. It's the Romans. It's where the Pope. That's where all that stuff is coming from, y'all. The greatest wicked and powerful, wicked and evil that's on the face of the earth. They're gonna cut this. They're gonna cut this video off. I know that for a fact. I ain't gonna say it for a fact, but they subject to because they have gotten away with that for so long. They was the one who brought okay, when the Father dropped the curse down, they were the one that was given the mission. Let's put it like that, to see it through. The evil at the evil of the evil. And then they labored themselves Catholic charity. And that's all over the world. All on the four corners, you guys. Okay. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 14. Above all things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectionness. And there's something wrong with that. Because you know what? Only thing that you can put on is righteousness. Now let's go there. Corinthians chapter 14. And that's what I'm just going to do. Let me get there. Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. But rather that ye may prophesy. But it says follow charity. Not follow righteousness, but follow charity. So are they saying charity is love? That's what I'm trying to understand. Rightly divided. Not like that. I'm trying to understand what is it that the people, Catholics, Hebrews, all these organizations, all these churches and different denominations, what are they looking at charity as? It's in here so many times as something to control us. But yet, it's not controlling us. Something wrong with that. Because it's a word that's been placed there that doesn't have the power. That doesn't have the power. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. Okay, let's go again. Let's go 1 Corinthians 16. 1 Corinthians 16 and verse 14. Let all your things be done with charity. So they're saying that it's love. Now, how are we going to take love and how are we going to act on it? Where is the definition of it? If this meaning love and the love of Yah, where is the definition to show us how we do this love? Listen to what it says. 1 Corinthians chapter 16 and verse 14. Let all your thing let all your things be done with charity. No, let all your things be done with righteousness. So they went and put that word in there. Mm. So if we only have evil and wicked that's on the earth today, we missed a whole lot. But like he said, they missed it when they didn't get to know who I was in Genesis 1:26, Deborah. So it ain't nothing, that they if you ask a million people what is love, they're gonna have probably a million different definitions. Why? Because you can't define love. I mean, if they had to give the definitions of love out of their own uh, ideal of what Yah is saying love is, they would all have a different one. But I can guarantee you, now will say give and gave. That's how whoever did it, placed it there, they did it intentionally. So we won't understand how we give and gave, how to give and gave. What he said, Deborah, does he say this to y'all? In all your getting, in all your getting, get understanding. There go they give. Get understanding. So you got to give, even in that. In all your getting, get understanding. And that's another one we failed, we have not been able to master. Because if we miss love and we miss righteousness over charity, then we messed up way from the floor up. Father, Yah, my hands up, lock me up. That's it. That's all I can say. And if his brand is in me, if he has put his mark in my forehead, that's the only thing I got going. Nothing else. Because like I said to you all, when he come telling me to look that word up and to see how that word was played, and first thing I said, I used to work for Catholic Charity for many years. Like he didn't know. I used to cook for the priests and the nuns and the sisters. I used to do stuff like that. I've done that. And even in the midst of them, I always knew they was the wicked of the wicked. I still work for them. Where a higher had ordered my step was for me to learn as I moved to the next step, the next step, and next step, next step. I never just stood in one step. No, he had too much prepared for me in my walk. He had ordered my steps, and it wasn't just to step into one thing and just say, stay there for a million years. No, he kept me going. And that's why I can tell somebody something. But I can tell you one thing, we missed it. And I'm sorry, Father, y'all, because I would have never thought. I knew that charity wasn't a word that should have been in there, but I didn't take it any further until he told me to do a in depth and see where they changed it. And I said, changed it to what? He said, it's supposed to be righteousness, Deborah, not charity. I said, just like they did with love. It's supposed to have been give and gave. It's supposed to have been give and gave. He said, he even told the husband, love your wife as Christ loved the church. And how did he love them? He gave his life. You see? He gave his life. Everything from the beginning. If you go to Genesis and you said, if I go to Genesis 1 and verse The first verse in Genesis 1, the second one. The second verse. Uh, now let's go to the third verse. Genesis 1, chapter 1, Genesis chapter 1, verse 3. And Yah said, let there be light. And there was light. So what did he do? He gave you light. He gave you light. You go all the way down. It was what he was giving you. Everything he was saying, let, because he was giving you what you needed on the earth to bring forth and let everything come forth. One thing after the other, that we may have these things in which he has given us. What did he tell Adam and Eve? He gave them the tree of life and the tree, other trees, and he gave them the tree of good and evil, knowledge of good and evil. He gave everything right there. He gave everything he did. It had to do with giving. You go back here and you don't see nowhere where it said in the beginning, a higher created, a higher loved us till he gave us and created us a heaven and the earth. You don't see love has nothing to do with that. Nothing. And I wonder, how is it he created everything all the way down and love didn't come on the scene to way down yonder? Showing you how they have placed things there so we won't know our Father in the heaven. We don't know really what he's made of. A lot of them don't even look. I'm going to show you how they don't know what he made of. Romans chapter 1. Now watch this here. And these are men talking on this one here. In Romans chapter 1. We want to think that we know him and we got him packed down based on all these messages we heard. But baby, let me tell you something. You remember, I don't know if y'all heard when we was talking about Solomon was talking about all different books and too much learning is a no-no. Now listen to this. In the book of Romans chapter 1 and verse, listen to this. Verse 25. This is what they did. And he's speaking of men who changed the truth of Yah into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Now watch this here. That wasn't the verse I really wanted to. Oh, here it is, verse 23. Romans chapter 1, verse 23. And they changed the glory of the uncorruptible Yah, unto an image made like a corruptible man. You see, we are a long ways from home, y'all. And only way we gonna get there is through the Most High or higher. All this other mess, y'all better kick this stuff to the curb. Because when he sat there and he showed me about Catholic charity, they the one placed that there, and he went on to telling me about how the Roman and the Catholics, they have tampered with everything, even the curse itself. They are the ones that behind it. They're the ones that's behind it. That's why they know so much about us. They know so much about us. They know more than we know about ourselves. Because our people won't tell spirit and truth. Our people won't give you the light. They want to go to all these other books and tell you what Enoch said this. None of them can speak of today, y'all. None of them can tell you really what we're going through today. They can't tell you that. They can tell you what it was back in their days and the things that was going on. The ones that can tell us something today, you have to go right back to the prophets. The ones that he gave the information for this day. He said in Proverbs 16 and verse 4, I created evil. Woo! You know, you couldn't get that to be in nobody's church. Nobody on earth will believe that. They won't believe it. I created evil for the day of evils. So I said, well, wait a minute, hold up. That's what you were saying this morning. That's all that's left is even wicked. He said, I told you. See, it's just it's either I'm going to believe him or believe what someone else is saying. Am I going to believe him or am I going to believe what the flesh of man is saying? Who have never knew truth. Won't teach the people spirit and truth. Won't lead the people in spirit and truth. Won't guide the people in spirit and truth. I'm sorry, Father Ahia. I am sorry. I am sorry. Because you all, let's go to First Thessalonians. We're going to see this. Y'all going to have to see this before y'all get off of here with your own eyes. First Thessalonians chapter 3. Y'all going to have to see this here with your own eyes. It's a good thing, though. First Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 6. First Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 6. But now when Timothy, no, that ain't it. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, yes, it is. But verse 6. But now when Timothy thus came from you unto me, and brought us good tidings of faith and charity. There go charity. What is charity doing near faith? His brand is righteousness, belief, faith, and fear. What charity doing up in there? Because it's really supposed to be righteous, y'all. That's why. That's why. Okay. Let's go back again. Verse 6. First Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 6. But now when Timothy came from you unto us, and brought us good tidings of faith and charity. Now watch this here. And that ye have good remembrance of us always, desiring greatly to see us, as we also to see you. No, that must be the other verse. The other, yes. But no, here it is. It's saying he brought two things: faith and charity. Faith stands beside belief and righteous. Where is belief and righteous? Why is charity there? Because righteous belong there. So they put charity. They put the charity there in place of righteousness. Now let's go to Second Thessalonians. Second Thessalonians, verse 1 and Second Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse, what's that, 3. Second Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 3. We are bound to thank Yah always for you, brethren, as it is meet, because that your faith, see that faith, groweth exceedingly, and the charity of every one of you all toward each other aboundeth. There go charity again. And charity of every one of you all toward each other. Now watch this here. Exceedingly, and the righteousness of every one of you all toward each other. Righteousness belongs there. And that word is placed there to keep you from knowing. And this could be a reason why a lot of things is confusing for the Hebrew Israelites as far as unity or coming together the way they are supposed to, and caring for each other and doing for each other. Okay, let's say they say we are supposed to love. Well, how do we do it? How do we do it? You see, you still have to have a definition. What is this love that Ahia has? How do we do it? How do we portray it? How do we, what you see? They don't have anything. And this is what they are missing. It ain't like it's gonna come back and restore things. No, because he says it's finished. It's over. Now, there it is again, right next to faith. Faith, fear, belief, and righteous stand. Those are his brands. Charity is not one of his brands, y'all. Love is not one of his brands. I'm sorry. No, I ain't sorry. That's spirit and truth. Now, First Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. First Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. Now watch this here. Now the end of the commandments is charity. Out of a pure heart and of a good conscience and of what? Faith. You see that faith there again? Now let's do it again. Let's say it again. First Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity. See how far they put that up there? So that means what? Catholic charity is the number one. If it's defined as they have defined it, or if it's the definition of it is what they say it is, then guess what? They are the number one that's upright. And that's a lie. So what do we say in verse 5? Now the end of the commandment is righteousness out of a pure heart and of good conscience and of faith. You see? Righteousness belongs there. Whenever you see faith and belief and even fear, righteousness got to come first. But they place that there to throw us off, you guys. Now let's go here. Let's go to verse 4, Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. First Timothy chapter 4 and verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thy an example. Listen to what happened now, y'all. Listen to this. But be thou an example of the believers in the word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit. There go faith. In faith, in purity. Now, what needs to come there? What's missing? Y'all don't see that? That's a good one. Where is righteousness? Where is righteousness? Listen to this here. Go back to First Timothy chapter 4. And what verse is that? And verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers. And what else? In word, in conversation, in charity. Watch this here. In righteousness, in spirit, in faith, and in purity. Now, where is in charity? Where is righteousness in here? I see belief there. I see faith. Where is righteous at? Before you can get into belief, then you're gonna sit and say charity, and then you gonna have faith. Where is belief? I mean, where is righteousness? Now they got two of them sitting in this verse. Belief is one of his brand. Faith is one of his brand. Why is charity sitting up in there? It's supposed to be righteousness. I don't know why they put that there, y'all. I mean, I do know why, because the Father told me. It's one of the deceiving tools they use. And this is why I tell you all we need the Ruach HaKodesh, because it's come to teach us all things. It's saying now, I left you all something to go on, but they didn't smear it all kind of things. And the only way you going to know it if I come and dwell in you and wipe it up so you can understand what is being said. Now, see here again, you got your belief, you got your faith. Where is righteousness? They put charity in place of it. Okay. Now let's go to First Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Let's see what they did here. Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in her childbearing if they continue, in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. Now listen to this. Why is charity there, y'all, again? Why is charity there? Where is righteousness? That's what they did. They put that word there. It's supposed to be righteousness. And this is why people don't understand. You ain't going to no kingdom. You're not going to be saved. You're not going to be anything without the righteousness. The brand. That's y'all's brand is for his name's sake is righteous belief, faith, and fear. That's why he said you have to fear me because I put it in you to fear. I put faith in you. I put righteousness in you, and I put belief in you. That's why no man can come up on you and buckle up on y'all. Because once you got that, you tell somebody to stand down. You don't know what he invested in me. He said, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. You better stand your tail down. Because once you know how great he is, then you're supposed to stand down. Now, what he's going to be up in you, and you ain't got nothing in you. But that's just that is exactly what's going on. And I kind of feel sad that so many people who say they scholars, they know this Bible from beginning to the end, and they can teach it in Hebrew and Greek, and they can master the New Testament, the Old Testament, and yet no, the basic things, the simple things that a higher has invested in his, they don't know. And that is spirit and truth. Now here it says it again. And 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity. They don't even come together, y'all. And it's nowhere, they don't even come together. It's righteousness. It's righteousness and holiness. It's righteousness. And I don't know why charity is sitting up there like it's all proud. And if y'all do y'all study with Catholic charity, then you'll see why the Pope, everything he does is founded under Catholic charity. Y'all knew that? Roman Pope, and you can see the charity is, they logo is all over the world, from Russia to China, everywhere. Israel, everywhere, that logo, because that's where that power is at. And they the one that has stamp these things in here to keep us from having a relationship with the Father to where we can understand him like he understand us. But they don't understand. We can't. This is a good thing he branded us, because if not, we'd be lost as a loony bird, because so many voices in the land and so many people are speaking to where we don't know our left and our right, and we can't trust. We are not trusting in the Ruach HaKodesh to do what he said he would do. He said he would be your teacher. And he would do what? Teach you all things. But once you let him do that, he'll show you things. You be the only frog on in the pond trying to figure out why is everybody doing this? And everybody, you be like, and he said, it's okay. It's okay. So let's go to First Peter. First Peter. First Peter, verse 4. First Peter chapter 4, verse 8. First Peter chapter 4, verse 8. And above all things, fervent charity among yourself. Now, see, that don't even make any sense. Let's go over that again. First Peter chapter 4, verse 8. Above all things, have what is that? Fervent charity among yourself. For charity shall cover a multitude of sin. Now, you know that's a lie from the pit of hell. Righteousness. Righteousness. covers a multitude of sin, not charity. And if someone wants to place that as love, they need to sit down somewhere. Because why is it going to have love in here and have charity too? It's got to be one or the other. That shows you that they can't even be connected as the same meaning, the same thing. So what is this charity? It means righteousness. And it does not define its definition does not define itself the proper way, because it needs to be kicked to the rocks, and the proper word as charity should be righteousness. But they put words, like I said, again and again. So that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. And it's all over the book. Titus chapter 2. Now let me read that over. First Peter chapter 4 verse 8. And above all things, have fervent righteousness among yourselves, for righteousness shall cover the multitude of sin. If you ask many people, they'll tell you, what is charity? First thing they're gonna think it is something that someone do to help someone and give someone for the poor. That's what they want to make it look like, as if they doing the work of Yah, which is crazy. But that's how they got it. That's how they got it set up to make you think that way, and the whole world believe them. So they do have the whole world believing them. Now that's what's kind of sad. The whole world believe that they are the one that's doing the will of the Father. Y'all didn't know they did you? Oh yes, they do. Wait a minute, let me. Girl, where are you going? Okay, we're going to Titus chapter 2 and verse 2. If I can get there. Okay, Titus chapter 2 and verse 2. That the aged men be sobered, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, in patience. Where is righteousness, y'all? No matter what they are. So what if they sobered? Where is righteousness? How you gonna have faith and then no righteousness? Charity, in patience. This is why they can't find their way right. This is why many can't find their way home, y'all. They can't. You remember how I always say they go way out in the deep? They can't see dry land. Hey, they can't see dry land because they haven't. I guess he haven't given it to them to see it. I guess that's the only thing. Because when he showed it to me, I was like, so how do they? How would they apply this word charity? How would they apply it to themselves? How would you all, somebody in the live chat, if you had to use that word and to apply it to yourself, how would you apply it to yourself as far as the way the book is giving it unto us? How would you apply it to yourself? Do anybody know? How would you apply that word to yourself? Would you say? I call it the school of Yah love. A tax write-off. You look quick. No, you didn't. I know that's right. That makes sense. Yeah, because you know what? Exactly. That's what you can definitely use that. You what they give you up to what? A certain amount based on how much you made, and that's what the rich people use. Y'all still don't get it, do you? They use that to write it off, so that's why they don't have to pay taxes. Because they can use what they have given to the poor or given as charity to where they don't have to write out taxes. That's all that crooked stuff. That's what Revelation said he's coming after them because they the way that they live. So you that's a good one though. That's a really good one. As far as the taxes, that is a good one. Exactly. Charity, meaning what it's trying to instill in people in this book. Charity. What is it saying in this book, in this Bible? What is it telling us? Charity. Are we saying it's saying love, or it's telling us if we didn't have something, we don't have this. It's telling you all. That's what I'm. That's. It's actually saying if you don't have this, charity, you out there. You're not redeemed. You're not nothing if you don't have charity. That's why I say, well, how would you define it? Now, if you don't have righteousness, you doing right, you ain't nothing. Okay, so you said it can be given without having the true righteousness. That's if it's that's if this is saying, see, the definition of charity, that's what we just read. And that's the let me get that again. But I'm talking about in the Hebrew, uh 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 how are they defining? It's just not a word that should be in there, period. I'm I messed that one up again. Okay. Charity, as it is in English, an organization set up to provide help and raise money for those in need. Charity provide practical help for the homeless people, but that's not how it's defined here in the Bible. Charity suffer long. Even though I have food stocked to give to the poor, it says none of it and have not charity, but I thought giving that to the poor is charity. It's not saying that. That's what I'm saying to you all. I don't know if y'all are getting it. I don't know if I'm not making it clear or not. It's not, the Bible is not saying as the definition of English of charity. It's either saying that it is a word that means love or something, but it's not saying like giving to someone or doing something for the hungry or the needy. That's not what it's saying. Because as you hear Yeshua speaks of, I was hungry and you fed me. Give to and you did not. Would you? I was thirsty. You didn't give me a drink. I was hungry. You didn't feed me. I was homeless. You didn't take me in. I was hungry. You didn't feed me. All of those were things that one were to give. You see that those things were give and gave. He was saying that to the righteous ones. Let's go there. 48, Genesis 48. And you, is that Genesis 48? When I think it was. What was that? Wait a minute. Let me hold on to Titus 2. What was that when we was reading it? 48. Was that 48? No. It couldn't have been Genesis 48. It had to have been Jesus have the goats and the sheep. I mean, Jesus have the goats. He separated the goats and the sheep. as one sheep. Yeah, that was Matthew's 25. Let's who gonna be able to tell that one? Let's see who gonna say who can get that one. Matthew's 25 verse. Let me get the verse. Let me get the verse first. And this is another example of what I was saying. What I am saying, brother. Matthew's 25 verse 30. We're gonna go to verse 30. Now listen to this, y'all. And this might be very helpful to this what I'm saying. Matthew's 25. And we're going to go down to Matthew's 25. Now we're going to go to verse 35. Now listen to this, y'all. Hear what this is being said. Yeshua has taken the sheep, okay? And he said to them how he's taking them toward the Father, inherit the come and inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. That's verse 34. Look what he said in 35 and 36 and then 37. For I was and hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visit me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Now listen to this. Then shall the righteous. Do y'all see that? He just said, I was hungry, you fed me. I was thirsty, you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Now watch this here. Look what 37 says. What does it say? Then shall the righteous answer him. All of those things he said they did, those were the righteous ones. Those were the righteous. Then shall the righteous answer him, say. So it's supposed to be righteous, not charity. You see? So people can know that they were the righteous that did these things, not charity. That's going back to what I'm still saying. It's not charity, it's righteousness. Because where it says, I was in prison and you visit me, they didn't give anything. They gave their time. They come to visit. So they gave that individual time. Okay? They showed up. I was naked and you clothed me. That's giving. I was sick and ye visit me. That's going to see someone. Visiting someone that's in the hospital. Okay, watch this here. For I was hungry and ye gave me meat. That's giving someone something to eat, right? I was thirsty and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger and ye took me in, like homeless, I guess, in a sense, and ye took me in. Those are called who did these things. The righteousness. That's what righteousness does. I don't know if I'm making any sense. That's what I'm saying to you. It can't be food and water and clothing and no. Righteousness. How did charity get in there? That's why you know it's an error. It wasn't supposed to be charity. It was supposed to be righteousness. Because these are, he said in 37, then shall the righteous answer. Because see, they are the righteous one. These are the things of those that are righteousness. So charity, I don't know where that come from. I do know. I need to stop saying that because he already explained it to me. So here, even in come to stand before the kingdom, it's still going to be said that you are the righteous one. The righteous one. That's what should have been in place of charity. Because another one stated that even though I have bestowed food to feed the hungry, but don't have charity. What? It's saying, I don't care who you feed. If you don't have righteousness, I don't care how much you feed, what you give somebody, what you do for them, you're going to have righteousness. Why? Because righteousness is what does those things. Do that make sense? See, righteousness is what does those things. And that's why people are not doing those things. It's because they don't understand you are not the ones that are of a higher, because the righteous one does those things. Not charity and any other word. It's the righteous ones. And watch what they say. Then shall the righteous answer, saying, Lord, when saw we thee hungry and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? Why? Because they didn't see it as they were doing something. Why? Because righteous had a grip of them. That's why. Because they are the righteous will of the Father. They are the righteous men and women of the Most High or highest. Righteousness is going to stand firm and tall from beginning to end. It's going to bring you on home. Because the righteousness of the Most High or higher rests in you, and He sent you down here with it. So when they coming up, they trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, when did we do all those things? We okay with righteousness. That's who He sent us down with. But all those things you said we did, wait a minute, when did we do those? You were the righteous one. And right today, no one knows. That's why people are stuck on this greed and want, me. They don't want nothing to do with righteousness. See, righteousness don't need nobody to tell them, okay, do this and do this and do this. It's in you already. And if you found not doing anything, it's because righteousness is not in you. This is the reason why I'm trying to say to y'all the way. I know I'm not saying it to y'all like He gave it to me, because the way He gave it to me, I was like, I'm gonna get up. No. That was 4 days ago when he gave to me. When He told me that, I was like, I did the study, Father. I know I went over that before. I know I remember going over that before, that charity, and I wanted to put that before you. But I'm so sorry. That is, to me, just like these here angels was trying to figure out. You talking about what did we gave. When did we do that? Your righteousness. That's His brand. You came down to do the righteousness, to do the work of the Father that rests under righteousness. See, they know they righteousness, but they don't know that it comes with being one that is give and gave. You see? Righteousness brand that He brand you with would allow you to understand what the world called love, but it's really called give and gave. Yeshua was sitting here telling the righteous one of Yah, you gave this, you gave this, you gave this, you gave your time, you gave your presence, you gave your ear, you gave food, you gave clothes, you gave a place to stay. All of those had to do with what? Give, which is the word called love. It's give and gave. So He broke down to them that what they did had to connect with give and gave. And they stand about saying, but when did we do that? You did it because you were righteousness and you didn't know what righteousness was. Y'all don't see that. Watch these angels. Watch these angels. Check them out. Check them out. Matthew chapter 25, verse 37. Then said the righteous, answer him. They finna, and how you up in the kingdom with Yeshua and a higher, and you finna answer something that He said to you. What's this deal? Listen to what they saying, y'all. Lord Yeshua, when saw we thee and hungry and fed thee, or thirst and gave thee drink? 38. When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothe thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? They asking him, when did we do these things? Because righteousness was branded in you. And that brand wasn't what you were given and what you were doing. It was a brand of the most high, higher, that was sealed in you to do these things. And they trying to figure out, when did we do this with you? When did we do these? They act now. Y'all don't get it. Yeshua is saying this like they in glory. Okay, he said in verse what was it? Verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on the right hand, come ye blessed of the Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. See, it was already prepared for them. Who are they? They the righteous ones. Now, this is what he went on and telling them what all they gave and give. And they trying to figure out, well, when did we do that? When did you need that? You did it because you are found under his righteousness. Y'all don't get it. See, and we're looking everywhere else and all under the table, under our phone, and looking everywhere for these things which rest right there with us, so that we can just encourage other people, so we won't be caught up in stupid with a lot of these people that's out here teaching these people this false doctrine in a way that making people thinking they have to trust in them. They have to trust in all the books they got, all the Hebrew and all the Greek and all their understanding. When the Father is sitting here saying to us, it's not that deep, Deborah. It's not that deep. It's just where they took it. They smeared things, and they just got people just running in a direction and that's why he said he's not coming back to wipe stuff up. Remember I was telling you, and what he mean is, when things have totally gotten out of order through the wickedness, he's not coming to clean it up for them. He ain't coming to clean it up for them. If you have allowed him in you, and he in you, you in him, and y'all abide as one, he's going to teach you spirit and truth. But that's all you have today, y'all. Him in you and the mark in the forehead. That's all you need. Because he said the earth, all that's left, Deborah, is wicked and evil. And I'm like, wicked and evil is all that's on the earth? Yes. But it makes sense to me. I was shocked that he said that, and I wasn't even out the bed. I just turned over to try to, you know how you first wake up, and he shot it to me, and I'm like, let me get up. I'm finna get up and clean up. Because that was just, you made it makes sense. It makes sense, because that's why I always hooping and holler. Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? That's why they doing all of it. It's because he says lawlessness. It's no one is following no laws and no rules, and he mean it from the top on down. He ain't talking from down below and up. No, he's talking from the top, not from his top, from the wicked top on down. And the people just falling right in place with the wicked that's portrayed, that's ruling at this time period. And they just falling right in place. Nobody is not paying any, no one don't care about what people are doing, what they saying, how they killing, how they stealing, no one cares about nothing. They like to make something big out of it, but the feeling of something there to really have some compassion and care, it's not there. He said it's not there. Everything is like, it's like a role play. Everybody just falling in to the what they see and believe, and what they want to make someone think, that this is like this, and this is like this, and this is like that, and everybody just falling right in place. And then hear this word here: righteousness is being done away with. Wow. So it's a good thing that he did mark his. It's a good thing that he marked his. It's a wonderful thing. That is a wonderful thing. So here, even like in Matthew 25, even here, all the things that they were given and gave, he calls them the righteous one. See, they are branded with righteousness. I told you guys, they were branded already with righteousness. And they come back to the Father with righteousness, belief, faith, and fear. It's in them. So here Yeshua said, then shall the righteous, he said, he called them righteous too. So they were doing things that had to do with visiting people in the hospital, the homeless, someone thirst, food to eat, those sort of things that's connected to what everybody trying to call love. And that's why people won't help nobody. That's why nobody won't give nobody nothing. That no one, because they don't have what you call righteousness in them. See, they want to make it called love. Wait a minute. You can go from every one of these verses right here where Yeshua took the sheep and the goats and brought them to the throne of the Father, and you won't see love in here nowhere. All you'll see give and gave. You won't see love nowhere up in there. And then I'm like, wait a minute, hold up now. Where is love? Where you mean they did it out of love? Well, where's love? See, you ain't gonna find this love that they're making to be, because how can it be? And you all don't know how to how would I say it? No one knows how to display or to conduct themselves in this love that they want to say. We have to love, love, love. Well, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you love your brother? How do you love your brother? How do you love your brother that you don't even know? But how do you love your brother that you know and you don't know? How do you love him? How can these Hebrew Israelite men really love each other? How could they really love each other? With a fake love. And that's what you see. Their love is, let's get together and bash women. Let's get together and bash this camp, bash this group, bash this group, and tell everybody we got the truth and they don't. Let's do it like that. We want to debate them. That's the main thing. We want to debate. We want to debate this group and debate this group. Neither one of you got righteousness, because earth is open for all of y'all's righteousness. Here's those that are belief, righteous, faith, and fear, branded for his name's sake. So that's why he's not concerned about you and I on this earth. He ain't worried about us. He said, since you're still on the earth, Yeshua was talking about in heaven. He had took the sheep to the heavens, to the throne, prepared where they were prepared from heaven. I like that, because he said y'all was prepared for this from heaven. Y'all was righteousness in heaven before you got down on the earth. That that's the whole sum of it all. See, a lot of us thinking we have to do certain things and be something to somebody else, or look like somebody else, or eat like somebody else, and talk like somebody, and know the scriptures back from front. No, no, no. He ain't asked you to do all that. He ain't asked you to do all that. Just know him. Just be in one with him. Just trust in him. And what do that do? It should set you free. It should set you free. And even these angels got up in heaven asking Yeshua, like Yeshua didn't know what he was talking about. But Yeshua giving us the example, so that was okay. He said that they gonna say, well, when did we do these things? He was just telling his disciples now that, see, they gonna wonder when did they do it. But it's gonna, when you done it to the least of them, you have done it unto me. It's not something like we see it to be. You see? So we can't take it as it been placed in here and said that it is, when it's not. It's righteousness, not charity. Just like love, it's to give and gave. Everything he did, it was what he gave and what he gave. And that's also a problem with a marriage. What is it? A lot of people say nobody want to give. You see, one says it's this way, one says it's this way. It's give and gave. You see, it's not. It's that's true. That's a true marriage where we can give and gave in this relationship. One is good at adding this here into the marriage and giving this and giving this and giving this, and another one is good at giving this, giving this, and giving this. Hey, we going somewhere. Why? Because both of us are giving to the marriage. But in this day and time, nobody want to give or gave, but they want to be holy than thou. Instead, they represent the Creator, and the Creator looking at them down here and said, "Well, wait a minute, y'all ain't even learned what I am. I'm giving, gave. Look what all I've given you all. Look, I gave you the earth. I gave you a light when there was just darkness. I gave you so everything, and no one even recognized I was always about what I gave and what I give and what I gave, and it wasn't even no one even know anything about it. Why? Now, who can answer that one? Now, watch this here. Watch this here. Here it is. He didn't gave everything. Give and gave. He didn't give and gave. Before he we were down here, he gave us what we need to even come down here. He even gave Satan his eternal eternal rest. Now it ain't gonna be no resting place. Lake of fire. The lake of fire is already created for him. See, he gave him something special too. See, he was already everything he does. He's already given and gave, and we can't see that he is give and gave. That's why these righteous angels was trying to figure out, wait a minute, Yeshua, what you talking about? When did we give and gave? When did we do that? You did it under righteousness, who Yah is. Yah is righteousness. He's built up on give and gave. He's not saying y'all love me so that y'all gave me this. Y'all love me, you gave me this. He said you just gave, and then turn around and tell him you righteous. Because that's what it is. Yah was always righteousness. That's why we all ain't gonna enter into the new heavens. It's because we thinking that it's a fleshly love. It's a fleshly uh, 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 love that has a definition that if I give you some food and water, you just gonna be my third wife, or just sick stuff to give lust and pleasure on the earth. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Yah is give and gave. And these things in which they turned around and said to Yeshua and said, well, when did we give all that? When did we give our time? When did we do all that? When did we do that to thee? When did that happen? See, they don't even know. Because honestly, we don't know that Yah is built up on give and gave. We cannot define his love outside of give and gave. Once we understand that, then we know how to show that same way that he represents what the world called love, his way of giving and gave. The way you want somebody to treat you is the way you treat them. So you give to someone what you want to be given unto you. There we go again. Then he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. So if you want somebody to give to you the same respect, you have to what? Give it back to them. Love ain't got nothing to do with it. But that's the word they put before they put any and everything that you would have to do. Do it. Love your neighbors as yourself. How do you do that? How do you love your neighbors as yourself? Anybody in the live chat? Can you define that? Treat him like you would want to be treated. Give respect like you would want someone to respect you. You see, it's what you give to that neighbor that you would want someone to give to you. That's what we need to seek for. And that's what he means when he says, love thy neighbor as thyself. Like a person can give himself, put himself, how would I say it? Let's say her. Let's use she. She can give herself. He's not saying give her, if you want a new car, you know you want one, so give it to your neighbor. That's not what he's saying. That's why you can't put that word love there and think you can define it. It's things that you, as a human being, that you love your neighbors. It says love, but you give to your neighbor that which you would want to be given unto you. Treat your neighbors that which way you would want to be treated. You see what I'm saying? Those are the things that and that's why people can't master it. That's why no one can master it, because they don't understand. They thinking, when he was telling me ain't nobody upheld the commandments unless the Ruach is in you, who holds the commandment, who is the commandment. And he was saying that who love their neighbors? Show me what they do to love their neighbors. And if you were to ask them, what do you do to love your neighbors? They couldn't even tell you. They couldn't even tell you. Show kindness. How you doing? If they speak, when they, if you want them to speak to you, you speak to them. If you don't want uh, 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 something done to you, don't do it to them. Anything, love your neighbors as yourself. It's telling you to look at yourself. And what you don't want done to you, don't you do it to the neighbors. And neighbors don't mean just the next door. It means family members or anybody that's near. That's what neighbor mean, near. Do to people the way you would want to be done to you. So it's a give and gave sort of thing. Have you ever heard where it says sometimes it's what you put out is what you receive? Sometimes we put out things and we don't understand that the reason why it's happening to us is because what we put out. We just getting back what we put out. And a lot of people don't look at it like that. But that's going back to where that second commandment, love thy neighbors as thyself. If you take the word love out and put give and gave, it will still fall under a greater, a better definition than love, because it'll show you that, okay, you give him respect, he give you respect. You see? You give him a hello, he give you a hello. He ain't tell you because you love, as you love yourself. You want to get yourself a new car, then you gonna have to love him to get him a car. No, that's not what he's talking about. It's just basic things. People near you respect people. You know, nowadays nobody don't even respect you. But he said you give it. Because why? Because that's what you want to be given unto you. So you give out what you want to be given unto you. That's what he's meaning with that commandment. Don't treat somebody a way that you don't want to be treated. You see? So you give out what you want to receive, to get. You give out what you want to get. That's it. And that's any and everything. And neighbor mean near. It don't mean your next door neighbor. And it's just anything. And a lot of us don't know, especially the tribe of Judah. They don't understand. You running around here with your pants hanging down. How do you want them to respect that? I felt so bad. This happened to me twice this week, where I'm walking and these Gentiles are behind me and a brother in front. This happened twice. Pants all the way down to his knees. I'm just like, how do you think these people look at you with your pants hanging down? It's showing something about you. It's telling something about you. They already got their own negative point of view. But are you making it any better? You showing them who you are. You see, you're displaying who you are, and it's a sad. And it happened. My ex-husband was telling me, look at him, look at him. I'm like, I was just telling him. I said I saw that the other day in Walmart, and I just was so hurt. I do. I feel, y'all might not believe this. I feel so embarrassed when our people, everywhere you go, I don't care where you go, the way that they conduct themselves, I feel but it makes sense to me. It makes sense because the Father told me just as plain as day. I heard it clear. Nothing's left, Deborah, but wicked and evil. And I'm like, but don't forget now, he got his marked. He ain't worried about them. They marked. And even if they wasn't marked, they marked in their spirit with belief, righteousness, faith, and fear. But he got them marked because they're not, they are in the flesh still. So he marks them. He told them to mark them in their forehead. And don't think the wicked don't know them. The wicked see them and turn around and go their way. Because that's the whole idea of marking them spiritual on the outside. Just like the beast, he marked the people, and the people right here today don't even know it. And I was trying to show you all that same example, and I probably none of y'all really gave it a thought. Look up the word arm. Look up the word arm. When you look up the word arm in Hebrew, it means hand. Remember what he said? They will be giving it to them in their right hand, and it's mean hand. Hand mean arm mean hand. And that same thing with the Father. Stretched out arm. That means that right hand. Sometimes he said arm, stretched out arm. Most of the time he said right hand, but you probably got 150 verses saying a stretched out arm. And that means his power in his right hand. But it's connected together. That arm and that hand is connected together. So he was saying that the mark will be given in the right hand. The biblical Hebrew is hand mean arm mean hand. They mean the same thing. See how they caught. They you see how they have people so far off on the deep end, and people are not even desiring. And I can see why he said the evil and wicked. And then he said, go to Proverbs 16 and verse 4. It makes a lot of sense to me. Everything he says makes sense to me. And I might not have been able to put it like I really needed to put it this evening. But the way he put it to me and the way I understood it, it was beautiful, but it was deep. I mean, and I said, well, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make sure I cover that. But it was really deep for me because I was looking at it in a way that how could that be? How could we mess up again? And I said we, but he know I meant myself. I mean, you can, but then you don't know everything. But yet, no, I thought about, but something like that, righteousness. He said you had it right as far as my brand. Most people don't even know nothing about righteousness, belief, faith, and fear. They don't know nothing about my brand. But you had that right. You had it right. So, anybody have any question? Anybody have any questions? I'm gonna show you another example that happened. The other day I was on here live in the and I was hurt because I felt that message. As soon as I start, like someone had said, as soon as you start talking about the power, all of a sudden the thing starts spinning. And you know what I did? And I'm gonna show you how he brought this up too. He brought it up. He brought it up when I said, now, Father, don't let this devil get no victory in this. Let this sight come back up. I mean, don't let him get no victory in this. This is all about you, Father, your power. And I said, don't let him get no victory. Did you think it straightened up? Nope, it didn't. No, it didn't. I'm telling y'all, not even for me. He ain't coming to make nothing turn nothing. Because I mean, and I don't blame him. I really don't blame him. And he didn't, and he brought it up when he was telling me that all that's left is wicked and evil, and that he ain't coming to straighten up none of it. And I thought about that came up to me when I was still in the water. You remember you was asking me to freeze that uh, computer that was freezing, and you asked me to touch it so it wouldn't. I didn't do it. I'm telling y'all, he ain't playing. So I ain't gonna sit here and make y'all think that it's all peachy keen. No, I'm not gonna tell y'all that. I'm not gonna give you that impression. It ain't. It's all. It ain't looking pretty. But I tell you what, you all are marked in your forehead. You hear me? And take that at its fullness. And you don't be worried about what everybody else doing and the things that's going on, and you really can't help but worry about the things that's taking place, because you're human, you living in this. You're not you're alive, you seeing these things, and you're bothered by them. But he wants you to know that he is marked, and that's why he marked them. Same reason he told me this left is wicked and evil, because when he was saying that, I was like, well, what about the righteous one? Wait a minute, hold up. He said, don't didn't you read Revelation? Didn't I tell you? I told them to mark mine. Well, that's how I said that. I like that. Then I like that. It gives you some hope. It gives you some hope. Yes, it does. To hold on to, But it's a lot of stuff. Even with my kids, I see them doing things, and I'm like, baby, this is not the time. Oh no, you don't. But you can't tell them nothing. And only one can prepare you to be able to accept whatever he has orchestrated is him himself. Because I sit back and I think about all the teaching and the Bible class and uh, uh, the ministering to them, and I'm like, it's no way. It is no way. But it just off the chain the way everything, Beyonce is doing a tour, and I'm trying to figure out. I said, this is what I was saying to the father. I said, look at all the people following this lady after she's totally showing them she's under the devil's control, and everybody liking her even more. I'm like, and going back to what he said, it's just that wicked. It's wicked and evil. That's the only choice that everybody has decided to grip and take hold of, and it makes a lot of sense, because I'm like saying all of the nasty things she done said about the Bible and about Yah, it's just off the chain. And then everybody's running behind her, trying to get. She doing a tour, and coming everywhere to other states, and even at the Super Bowl that Brianna, her. And that whole outfit she had on and everything red, it's all that's got a meaning to it, a wicked meaning to it. They had that at the Grammy, I heard, and it had a wicked significant meaning behind it. All of it does, and it's everything is plainly out. They got drag queens going to sit up at the kids' school. Y'all don't see. That's what he's saying. It's the wicked and evil. That's all that's left, and people are saying, I don't care, whatever. They doing their own little thing and calling right wrong, wrong right. So the wicked and evil at its level that it is in this day and time, everybody's content with it. It's like, so what? Everybody just do your thing, you know, and that's what it is. That's what he's saying. And they doing it. Do you see how they mocking him? And big time, but no problem. It broad daylight, midnight, pastors, bishops, priests, teachers, whomever, rich, poor, all of them. They don't even care no more. Yep. They just don't care. And they don't cut them off the YouTube. Oh, They make sure you identify with every wicked thing that's on the earth. But that so why should Sister Deborah say that Yah is a lie? Because he just informed me, Deborah, all that's left on the earth is wicked and evil. And I'm like, but if you really sit down and just think, that's all that you see. in public. Yeah. I mean, it's just everything. It's just like it's no nothing. It's just like you don't see. I mean, you don't see nothing. And like I said, even with my children, in seeing them, they planned a trip over in Mexico somewhere, and I'm like saying, now how stupid is that? Ain't told me nothing about it. That's the last thing they need to do. Cause anything go down, who gonna get the work? You see how a dedicated, righteous parent. Because if anything happened, who's got to pick up the tab? Who got to go make sure T's is crossed and I's is dotted? But then you want to plan to go somewhere. Why they don't want to tell me? Because I tells them how dangerous it is to take these type of movements. I mean, these type of steps in this day and time. I don't want them to be to where they're afraid, because life and death is not in mama's hand, and nor is it in there. But it's, I don't know if y'all knew this, but a lot of our black young people are running their tail over there to Mexico, as a visit, and I mean, going over there, and if y'all look on the news, and you go on YouTube, and you see how many not coming back home. A lot of them being missing, and all kind of things happening. You don't do that. You have to me. Now, you know what though? If my kids were really into the word and feared Yah, or had the spirit of fear of Yah, or something like that, then I know that the Father got them, but mm-mm, it just it just doesn't make any sense, and don't even understand. That's something I can stop. I can stop that if I wanted to. Oh yes, I can. I don't care how many tickets y'all got. I don't care how y'all done paid for your hotel. You don't know who you messing with. Cause I can stop that with a blink of an eye. And I sat there and I thought about it when they was talking about it at the Super Bowl. I said, and they was trying to talk around me. I didn't say nothing to them, cause so I wouldn't have nothing to say. But you can tell my baby son, he wanted to tell mama, you know, but they vowed to just keep it between them. You can keep it between you. Very dangerous. I said, Father, let me stop. But yeah, I can stop that if I wanted to in its tracks. You think I can't? Oh, yes, I can. But I'm learning how to let go and let Yah. And right now, what did he say? All that's left is even wicked. That's what I'm afraid for them, and it's time to just let go, y'all. It really is. It's just time to just let go in a way that, because I'm like, okay, if you say it ain't number wicked and evil, it's just gonna be sitting, waiting to do what it want to do. Mm-mm. Now it ain't gonna override, y'all. Don't get me wrong. Mm-mm. He ain't saying it's gonna override him. It's gonna only do what he has assigned it to do. It don't mean it's gonna go and it's just gonna. But right now he has. Let me tell y'all something else that I wanted to share with you all. These Gentiles, some of these Gentiles getting that truth right, y'all. Because this one man, he broke down Genesis, and he was breaking down Revelation, and I was like, sure is. It is. You are so right. That's true. That is so true. He was talking about how the thing was going to come, the star going to come from the heavens, go straight down to the hell. I mean, to the earth and hit, and locusts going to come up, and they're going to be stinging, meaning biting. And what we don't understand, just like y'all might not have got what I was really saying about this charity, that was something Catholic Roman Pope them Catholic uh, 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 charity. It ain't Catholic charity. That's they fun thing how to get rich. But it's the Roman Pope, this Catholic uh group, Satanism. I put it like that. It's them, just like any and everything. It seems as if so much has been released and no one's seeing it as it is written in the book. But then the spirit of the Most High Yah let you know that in the book it says this, but this is what it really is that's coming. You know, cause look at her little silly tail. They had her going in there for the four horses. Beyonce went and trying to mimic the four horses in Revelation. She tries every role she's trying has to do with some type of biblical character, or not character, but act. And why is it that you just don't stay over there with Satan at? Why you keep coming over in the area? Because she is misleading those who got a quickening, now a taste of godliness, and she just dragging them on over there, making them think that she's involved in Revelation and the four horses being released. Why would Satan do that? Only way he was able to do that is it's the appointed time in which Yah allowed him to do that. Someone just told me that she said that she would use the Bible as a sanitary napkin. I heard that. I said, no, y'all getting too stupid now. They said she said that in her song. I don't know. I don't listen to her song. I don't even look at her. And you can see that they sold they daughters is sold out. She sold out. Her mama too. They both of them are sold out to. They had to be the sacrifice. And I heard Ricky Smiley. He sacrificed his son. Why is it that they are taking all these black people in this day and time and causing them to start worshiping Satan in broad daylight and plainly, so everybody can see, and people still following behind them? It's just amazing. It's just amazing. But he said that's the way it would be. So I guess, all righty. But yep, it's just amazing how it is. It is what it is. So Sister Deborah, I don't know how I could say it. I can't say it. But yeah. So you all kind of dig deep into that, and you will see uh, uh, where righteous is that main brand of the Most High, higher. Um, that and I don't understand why, but he tells me that righteous belief and faith and fear was supposed to be the fruit of the spirit. He said that was supposed to went in as the fruit of the spirit. And I'm like, sorry, Father. I know it. I'm sorry. It just faith, belief, righteousness, faith, and fear is part of the fruit of the spirit. If y'all think all of those are part of the spirit realm, why wouldn't it be? And why he was saying that, I don't know. I guess because when they do the fruits of the spirit, those main ones are left out, you see. And you got meek, you got patience, you got what else? I can't even think. But he was saying that the main one should have been righteous belief, faith, and fear, because they are the fruit of the Spirit, of who He is, what He stands for. I'm like, but how could that? I have to study into that. I got to get into that. I have to. He said it, and I just have to get into that. But I thank the Most High, and I say again, I'm sorry that I ain't the best that I guess I could have been, but I just thank the Father for allowing me to be the best that He know that I am, and that's the best as I could be. And I really thank God for allowing me to just live, to know some things that I do know. It ain't like um it's gonna help, because to know it, because if everything now is to the standpoint, to the point where it's about the evil in they days, and they plan it for all it's worth. Yep. Oh yeah. Oh yes. hmm And it's almost like they just put there to be a stumbling block to you, in a sense. Oh, Jonah, Jonah and the whale. My son named Jonah. And when I introduce him to people, I say he's Jonah and the whale. That's a good one. Well, I can tell you one thing about Jonah. I can kind of relate to him, because there have been times where I said, I ain't finna go to them people. I go the opposite way. I can definitely say that. I go the opposite way. Ooh, this is too bad. This no. So that part I know. I understood Jonah, and he never did. Jonah never did get it right. Even when he went back, he still. But yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, because that's a really deep thing. That's just like, let's say for instance, in this today, he's saying we have left wicked and evil, and then he says lawlessness. It's lawlessness, and I'm like, that makes so many. You know what, y'all? If y'all could see the, I mean, not see. I know y'all can. It is so many things happening, and it's just like he said, it don't matter. And I just imagine if you get anything worse than what it is, we gonna be in a heap of trouble. And what we going to? But then again, you got to keep in mind, you marked in your forehead. But it ain't gonna stop you from seeing it, though. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna stop you from feeling that thing and seeing that thing. But the only thing I think I'm kind of feel kind of sad, because when he went to telling me about that righteousness, he said, "When what do you think about Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26? Them not knowing my power and my stretched out arm and my right hand, Deborah, all the way up until today." Then he said, he was just giving me all different things that people still don't know about him. Oh, you know what else he gave me out? Deuteronomy 28. He brought Deuteronomy 28 right back to me. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He said, just look there. I'm telling them the end game of this curse. I'm let them know how the curse gonna end, and then one of them, not one, y'all, not one has covered it. I've been on 4.5 years. Not one has covered it. They won't go into it, but they go way back and talk about how many slave George Washington had, and where he kept them. And look, we going to visit where he kept all his slaves, and how he laid down with this woman. This is the bed. We want to show you the bed he laid in. Who wants to know that? You see, they don't know no spirit and truth, no light. So they take you right back into the corner of the darkness, because they don't have no light. So they just take you all the way back like that. And that's sad. That's real sad. That's the only place you can take me, is back there. No, we moving forward. Especially if I got the mark on my head, I'm gone. I'm moving forward. Lane is. I got to run. I got to keep running. Ain't nobody got time to be looking back there talking about how many stupids the history. It's a history right in front of us. Deuteronomy 28 end game. How you like him now. Go do that history. No, they don't want to do that. You all, I'm serious. I've been on here 4.5 years and not heard not one man cover the end game of Deuteronomy 28. So what I'm understanding is you would have to be in the full hand of Satan to not, because it's right there. Isn't it what they use to say that they are Hebrew Israelites? Oh, we know that's us. But why do you not teach the people the fullness? It's because you would have to be as evil can be to not show the light of the end game. And you know what? Just think if they had done that. A lot of these young men that's in these camps and these other places, they'll realize when you know what? We running around here acting a fool for nothing. We're cutting up from the floor for nothing. See, but they don't want to. They didn't teach Deuteronomy 28 right. Why would you say that, Deborah? They still haven't owned up to it. They still don't believe that that's something Yah did to them. They still don't believe it's him from the beginning and it's him to the end of it. So they just stop at three words: slavery, oppress, and the ship. That's it. That's the only thing they take out of Deuteronomy 28. They don't go all the way to the end where it tells them and you're going to be destroyed. He's talking to somebody. And you know who that I realized that who he was talking to? I thought that he was telling this to the heathens to do this until they destroy. He's talking to his right hand. Mhm. Father Yah, I am so sorry. When I went back over that the other day, I said, Father, that's your hand doing that. Yes, that's that power. What did he say? Denying the power therein, many fall away because they want to deny. They don't want to stand on that. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear it, and they never did. When I found out back in what year was that? The 80s and 90s that they had that Hebrew Israelites started. If y'all saw that thing with all them people, they were killing people, murdering white people, murdering their own people, they women, and they wasn't killing them like just shooting them. They was doing some woo-wee, and that's when they were out. That big organization came out, the Hebrew, the Yahweh. Woo, that was a big place. I mean, they had money in it and everything. Y'all, they had money like crazy. They had everything. And just imagine, it was loaded with the highest level of wickedness among our people. That's why when they come out and say we awaken, no, no, no. You just took the torch, the baton of those who had already started it, and y'all did it even wickeder and evil, more worse and worse and worse and worse. And that's why it's where it's at today. But y'all, when I was looking at that movie, I don't know if any of y'all saw it. That thing was off the chain, the way they was killing their people. And you think they doing something now? They were doing. At least I would have thought it. I took one look at that and I said, "Now, see, Father, this is what I always said about our men." See, it wasn't that Sister Deborah is against men, because you got to understand, I got 4 grown men, okay? And I would say they the best men on the face of the earth, the best you're gonna get. I put it like that. You see, but it's just the idea when I see them, when I see these things of them starting it way back in the 80s and 90s, I'm like, why are y'all doing stuff like that? What? Then you look at it today. That's why it's where it's at today. They was lost long time ago. They've been lost. And then here it is, y'all won't read Deuteronomy 28. Something wrong with that picture, y'all. Something is seriously wrong with that. I mean, seriously wrong. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 16 all the way to the end. Something is wrong somewhere where you can take this here and say you awaken, but yet y'all won't grip it all the way to the end. Just because if you grip it all the way to the end, then you'll be trying to hold a relationship with the most high, higher in the spirit realm, because you already know he's saying you're gonna be destroyed in the natural. So okay, if I'm destroyed in the natural, my spirit is gonna overpower that which is destroyed in the natural. Y'all didn't know that. That's what happens. That's what happens. But the thing about it, he said, When you're going out, you're gonna be cursed. So that means that you're gonna be on your spiritual time. You're gonna be moving on your spiritual time, because he said he ain't even cleaning you up until you get over there. So the travel time, he ain't gonna clean you up until you get over there. But he's gonna let you use your spiritual time. Your spiritual time, don't forget, you have the Ruach, and he has you. And y'all are in one another. And then he can show you the way to walk. And he'll show you your way. And you'll be okay till you get to the promised land. And then that's when he's gonna clean you up. And it makes a whole bunch of sense. But if you thought that, okay, you don't see no end game to it, that means you ain't got your spirit man in tune with him. You ain't one in him, because here in the spirit realm, you just one in your flesh. So when that time come, you're gonna be around here trying to fight them people, trying to do this and try to do that. And Ahiah's gonna just take his and get on out of there and let them do what they're gonna do, because their flesh is not going to have no support, because no spirit is there. So it's just going to be out there thinking that, oh, I got all my guns and I got all this. I'm going to fight back. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. So when you come up to Isaiah 3 and 25, that's where he's saying you're going to get your tail destroyed. That's what he's meaning. I believe that. No, why did you erase it? So are you talking about, yes, it was horrible. You saw that movie? I mean, it's not even a movie. It's for reality, isn't it? It's called Yahweh. What is that, Natural TC? What is that, a movie? Oh, wait a minute. Is that a Shalom? Yep. So you see, but how did do you do you so let me ask you something. Do you think it was worse then, or do you think it's worse now? What would you say? Is it worse then, or is it worse now? It was a documentary, I believe. They wanted to lead me. Oh yes, that's what he's. Yeah, I believe that. I really believe that. Lead as many as they possibly can to the direction in which they are going. You think it's worse than now? Oh yes, spiritual. They're dead spiritually. Okay. Mm. Wow. Wow. Honestly believe it's worse than now. You right. Hmm. But you know what? I do believe this here though. I think that during this time, a man that finds a wife, it is truly a good thing in this day and time, Because you know what? I don't care what is going on. When there are two like that together, everything around them, anything can go on. But if y'all stick together and work together, that's all it is. Give and gave one another. You will be all right. That's all. Give and gave one another. But see, right now, it's one wants to be here and want the other one under the feet, and stuff like that. And it's where we at today. Then both of y'all say we're worser. So what's this thing about wanting to put her underneath the feet in such a bad time in life? Why do a woman have to be that low under a man to and all these things that's happening, you all this evil, wicked? You should want a woman, because if you get sick, she's there, and she gets sick, you're there to talk to each other and minister to each other and read the Bible together and make meals and go places and do things and just be in one. But today it's just not like that. If we eat flesh and blood, who eating flesh and blood? What do you think about someone saying we can't enter into the kingdom if we eat flesh and blood? Blood? Who eat blood? I don't understand that question. Do anyone understand that question? Right. He has to recognize that he has a righteous, and you know what? It's about, oh, I got me somebody, and she said, I got me somebody. We gonna make things work. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do things together. And the main thing I think is them reading that word and praying together and calling on Yah. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to let he running behind some man telling him how he's supposed to treat her and how he baby, they don't understand where they at in this day and time. They don't know what time it is. And that's where now, and this is, I think men, there are men who's also are marked, you know, even in this day and time. But y'all, want me to tell y'all something? This might be strange to y'all. Do you know that there are more Gentile men that would try to hit on Sister Deborah more so than anything? Yes, I don't give them the time of day. But you know how much, to me, that's, if he find him a wife, they don't understand. That's a good thing. But see, what's going on is the ones that they want is the ones that they end up getting. They want it to look a certain way, walk a certain way, do this and do this. In a way, instead of you missing out. They are. I'm telling y'all, they are missing out. Like we have the corn ways. No meat. Oh no. Ain't nobody thinking about that. The only way they gonna go back, leave meat alone, cause they keep raising the price. But outside of that, I ain't thinking about nobody telling me what to eat. Now I don't eat pork and I don't eat seafood and stuff like that, but I eat, because you know what they more focuses on? The flesh. How about giving somebody some food for their spirit? How about that? How about that? They don't want to do that. How about giving them something for their spirit? Give them some food for their spirit. Give them a full meal deal for their spirit. You ain't got no food for the spirit. That's why they want to tell you what to eat for the flesh, because they fleshly. They worldly. And they don't even understand that all the meat you eat and whatever you take in is going to the ground. And your flesh knows that. Its destiny is to the ground. It ain't got no connection to your spirit. Meat don't have no connection to your spirit. In case y'all didn't know that. But no, I always said that it's not a time that I could not have had. But you know what? It's just certain ways that they would display themselves. I don't give them the time of day. And Sister Deborah don't look like this here, like y'all see her on here. No, 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 no. But I don't go out looking crazy either. One accord. There you go. There you go. And let her have the strength that Yah has given her. And she let you have the strength that Yah has given you. You put both of them together. That's the way he wanted it. You see? Let him bring in who he is. She bring in who she is. But we ain't talking about worldly matters, smoking dope, drinking, and all this rapping and cursing and all this. Oh no, no, we ain't gonna have that. Go on your way. I don't want to have to live with that, and I ain't gonna live with it thinking I'm gonna change it. Go. Yeah, eat meat. Yeah, we can eat meat. Yeah, they say it coincide with flesh and blood. Well, blood can't be in there after you cook it, but that's what you saying. They say flesh and blood. You should see them eat them lambs, them goats, and all that stuff. Oh, I say I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. Thank you. But yeah, I just don't, and I just said to myself, they just don't know. I know my son, his fiance, she be just looking at him. I mean, they took some professional pictures, and she be just looking at him because he is so unusual. He is so unusual. And I sit back and say that baby, she just don't know how blessed she is. No, I think he's one of the humblest men on the face of the earth. My son Joseph. Hmm. And she be just looking at him. I mean, the way she look at him is like, you know, as a leader. Yeah, that's how she look at him. When she looking at him, it's just, and I be watching that young girl looking at him like she be like watching his every move. Oh no, I don't want nothing to happen to him. I said, baby, ain't nothing gonna happen to him. Oh no, you sure better not want nothing to happen to him, because you ain't gonna get it like that and ever in your life. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. That's why I said it is. And him and her is kind of the same. They kind of the same. And I was thinking about Joseph today, and I was thinking about how him being so humble, but he goes after doing things that's really fun too. And I told her, don't go doing everything that he want to do. Find things you like to do, and you tell him, we're gonna do what I want to do. If we're gonna do what you want this week, we'll do what I want to do next week. Don't let him do everything he want to do. She said, oh no, he don't never do it like that. That's what I'm telling you. She ain't gonna get it like that. And she knows that. Because her parents, when I went to meet her parents, we went out, all went out to dinner. They were saying that the type of guys that she normally would date, and they was talking about how Joseph is just off the honey. Yep. Yeah, the quiet storm. You sure right. That's exactly how he is. He came to me yesterday at the game. He say at the Super Bowl. Uh, uh, we was watching Super Bowl. He say when I got a position open, but it's an account management. I said, well, okay, I think I can do that. I was telling him uh, he's uh, district manager over 27 facilities. Um, and he only 20, what, Joseph, 28? And it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. I just thank the Father. But that's the no. He's the one. He told me he was 6 months old. He was 6 months old, and the Father told me you will never know him. You will never know him. And me, 62. He finally explained to me why. He didn't explain to me why. He said each and every last one of your children, you know them. And then when he said you know them, he mean it at the form almost to the point of nakedness. Nakedness from the Father to me is you know who they are, spiritual and natural. You see, but this one here, you won't know him. He told me that when he was 6 months old, and I don't know him. I really don't. I know him, but I don't know him, and I think that's that spiritual side and that natural side. I don't know him like I know all the other children. With him, I don't know, and he ain't gonna let me know him. You wish he was here. I know that's right. Wish Yahuwah was Yeshua. Is that who? Yeah, Yeshua was here. Yeah, yeah. That's Joseph. That's the quiet storm. Yeah. And you know what? One time he told me. He told me this about a couple of times. He say, "I you think I'm not listening, but I'm listening and I'm hearing you. And even though you might not know me, I know what you're saying is true. I know why you are here and your purpose. So don't think because I don't say anything, I don't know who you are." He said that to me twice. Yep. And this uh like I said, this young girl, I mean, she really her family, whew, they crazy about him. I got to continue to pray for him. Oh yeah, he texts me stuff like that all the time. And one time he wrote me a letter like that, and I don't know who he is, but he's also he's and you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all something. The strange thing about Joseph, it's almost like he's almost like it's almost like you know how man you a woman would want a man like out of y'all's own heart. That's almost like he is. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna buckle up and he ain't gonna buckle down. You see what I'm saying? He ain't gonna let nobody. He's not. He don't want to talk. He ain't one that want to do a lot of talking. He don't like me to talk to him a lot. And all I have to do is look at him, and that's all I have to do is look at him. I can tell where he don't want to talk. It's been hard. You know how many? I think we used to have like six people who said that they were also six people on here. I don't know if they still on here. Yes. Oh man, I can't imagine what that would be like. So that would be a lie to even say something like that. I had to share with my mother a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. hmm I had to share with my mother about uh, the father never intend for the example to be family. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. He never intend for it to be like that. And she said, "Well, can you give me the scriptures to that?" And I think I gave her like six. And I told her, if you want any more, I give it to you. And I said, "But Mama been in the church for about 40 some years. They should have, but see what they do is everybody make it about family and we know what's up in our family. Come on now. But everybody want to make it look like it's oh family is what it is. Oh family. And the father started giving me all those verses. And I was like, I didn't know it was this many in here that lets us know, even to the one where he said the simple one where he says, and uh they came looking for him and saying your mother and your brother. And he said, who is my mother and who is my brother? He means that if they're not on my side righteously, they ain't my mother, they ain't my brother. So his whole ideal of family is those who are under the righteous umbrella. Isn't that something, y'all? And you know what? If you really think of it, that also would help people to be around those that's under the same umbrella. You see what I'm saying? So we won't be trying to be up under sister, brother, mother, father, uncle, grandpa, granddaddy, and them who are not from under the umbrella of righteousness. Then we can be around our family and go and hello or whatever. But if we all stay underneath those that are alike under the umbrella, the righteous one, just imagine what we can conquer in our family. Just imagine instead of getting with those that's not under the righteous umbrella and then wants to be family, family, family. We family, but you all are not under the same umbrella. So when you get up under the same umbrella with those that's under the same umbrella as you, then y'all can go throughout the whole family and start ministering to the whole family. Why? Because y'all on one accord. Y'all are under the righteous umbrella, so we can go and minister to when grandpa or auntie or whatever, because we're under the same umbrella. That's what you call really. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful because what is happening is people just assuming that's my daughter, that's my son, that's my mother, that's my father. They in there, they my relative, and they have taken to the heart of their flesh that that's the closest thing to them. But the father said not so. And y'all need to read the scriptures in the book and let the Ruach explain to you. He said, no, no, no. Only one that's your real father, your real mother, your real sister, your real brother are those that follow under righteousness, that believe and follow under righteousness. But we figure it's a blood thing, it's a flesh thing. That's what gonna make us who we are if we just stick together as bloodline, baby. Please. Oh, you found it out the hard way years ago? Oh wow. Yeah, that's what the Father is saying. You see? And when they see those that do believe in the family and they start to be up under the same umbrella and start doing things with each other and being around each other, then that's what make them saying, well, well, maybe I should go over there and see what they doing. Or, but we don't do it like that. We just uh how would I say it? We clamp on to, oh, that's my brother, that's my blood, that's my blood. Baby, please, blood go to the earth. What relationship are you in the spirit? You see, what do y'all have in common with the Most High or higher? Nothing. But that we make them. So I was telling my mother. My mother said, "Booby, that's in the Bible." I said, "Yeah, Mama." I told her I give you six. And I gave her six really good ones, and it told her just straight out. She said, if you love your mother and your father more than you love me, then that's not it. And what he meaning is, if you willing to say that the ways of your mother and your ways of your father is better than me because you're supposed to seek him first, then you don't love him. And that's what people do. They think it's a blood thing. Because my family always want to do family oriented things, always want to come together, always want to do things where we all together and eating. And but you know what? That's not what he said. When you remember, he said it's gonna be like the days of Noah. They're gonna be feasting. That's what he meaning. They're gonna come together, and ain't none of them gonna be on have nothing to do with Yah. And they gonna think it's all about family. Us coming together and eating and feasting and it's not. That's not it. That's not it. That is not it. So I was explaining to mom. She said, but I always thought that, to try to keep the family together and we need to stick together. No, you don't. What good and what do right and now what do hot and cold have in common? What do unrighteous and righteous have in common? Nothing. Dark and light have in common. So you just saying we'll put the dark and light together, and cause we bloodline flesh, we in there. Oh no. Or we gonna live as if we close and we family knit. No, dark and light would never come on one accord to really stand for anything righteous. And that's where they missing it at, because they thinking that, okay, we can all come and we can feast together and we can, get together and whatever, and we loving one another and all this and that. But when it all said and done, you just going in the midst of darkness and you the light. And they would never have no full respect for your light, but they will want you to have full respect for their darkness. Your family 3 years ago. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I had to finish. Okay. But didn't he say sometimes he's not sometimes he said to lose is to gain. Sometimes we have to, because I had to do it. I had to leave. I sure did. I left mine alone for years, years. And when they seen me coming, it was like, hey, they didn't seen an angel, because they realized I wasn't about what they was about. And see, it's good that somebody says that you're not like, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because if they one way, then what do they say about you? Who are you? That nephew who said that confirmed to me I'm not like the family. No, because that's how they think. That's how my family is too. They just think, but in it all, I think the Most High or higher, because in it all, I don't think minds would ever see me to be negative. If anything, they'll see me be positive, just not being around them. Meaning that I could just because I'm not around them, they still don't see me as a negative. They see me as a positive. Yep, I heard that the black sheep is always the white one. That's what I heard. I have always heard, because they have to. A lot of times people they put the one uh in the black box so they can continue to be on the outside of the box and want everybody to see them to be the good, but they want to put you in the black box. But they don't understand who's with you in that black box. That's where their problem is at. Because even when you come out of the black box, then all of them gonna be looking stupid, because they trying to figure out. Well, wait a minute. I thought they said you was like this. They said you did this and you that. You did just what y'all said. But here I am. But yeah, it's a lot of groups that comes together at least once a year uh, to come together and and stay in touch. And because honestly, I think even him just saying what he said to me this morning was more than enough. And I'm like, oh wow, man, you mean it's like that? So even if he's saying that it's like that, those that are marked in the forehead, it'll be a good thing that all of them come together and come into oneness. Even if it's not personal, but even if it's not um, how would I say it, in person, but to come into one unity and try to work it like that. Try to and I think that's what I try to do on this devil platform is do something to where everybody will just be talking and communicating instead of me teaching and me giving more and more and more because I believe those that he have marked is in there regardless. You know what I'm saying? Just like those who marked it, he branded before the foundation of the world. Is nothing Sister Deborah can say or not say that's going to keep them from entering back into the kingdom. You see, that's where the deceiver's job is to make sure you don't know that you marked, or make sure you don't know nothing about spirit and truth and the light, and that those that are come down here of a higher in the light are those that are branded for the light, you know? Yeah, I think that's what I do. Just open it up. We'll open it up to something. Let's try that. We'll open the live chat once a day, but we'll have a main topic, and or maybe we don't have to have a main topic. We just talk, you know, just talk. I think I do that. Yep, that's what I think. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was thinking. If he said he told the angels to mark his, and if there's only wicked and evil, then he would in some way try to. I would think that which makes a lot of sense. What's the sense of marking them? And they don't know each other, or they not detached to each other, because we go on the same route, right? To the promised land. Am I right? So even though he's going to the four corners, it's not like everybody's going to. But I used to have them over in Russia, UK, Canada. I had them all over. I'm talking about before I kept shutting it down. I sure did. I sure did. I started off with, I mean, a lot of subscribers just start adding on. I had men and women, Gentiles, and I sure did. Other foreigners. Yep, I sure did. But when I used to think, well, open the door, y'all talk some spirit and truth. Nobody would talk. So I said, let me shut it down this time. But yeah, I think I will do that. I'm going to open it up, and someone can start the topic off, and we'll just talk about all the topics that everybody is speaking on. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. Oh, that'll be good too. The conference call, that'll be good too, or Zoom. Yep, that's a good one too. I have to see how to do it, but yeah, that's a good one, because you'd be surprised how just coming together and saying things to where there's those that are out there that's looking for some closure in what is actually taking place. But do y'all know there's a lot of people out here that even if they are marked, they still trying to figure out why things are happening the way it is, or why is they doing this, and why is they, what I'm saying, not knowing that, and it's they don't know fully the the captivity itself. That don't mean they're not marked. That don't mean that they're not marked. Oh, the multitude always come. We got to throw them parables. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. We can do that tomorrow, starting 7 or 8 o'clock. If we set it, let's start at a time where we only spend 2 hours or less. But yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. And just hear, and if people have questions and we all answer it, instead of being just Sister Deborah's talking. And yeah, I think that'd be a good thing. Yeah, it's one person. I'm hoping he's okay. I haven't seen him in a while. I ain't seen him in, I think, about last time I saw him on here, it was 9 months, not 9, about 3 months ago. But he's an elderly man. He comes on my live. Hmm. Been there since I started. Since I started, I ain't seen him in about 3 months. So I'm hoping he's okay, and he's up in age. Because I know when he first came on, he was talking about how the church is, the church, the Christian church is, how they far from, a lot of things that's not right. And I remember him, but he stuck in there for all way. And I saw him 3 months ago. I ain't seen heard from him. I hope he's okay. I know one while he was sick, but I hope he's okay. But yeah, so I think I might just do that. I just maybe call it, it's a time to talk. Let's say it like that. We'll say it's time to talk. We'll say something like that. Um, or say something, so we'll change it to something else. Something that would cause one that might be out there that knows within themselves that they have the spirit of the most high, or higher, the light itself, but just haven't found that place, where they could just be able to open up. And but I really think that is we right there, y'all. I really do. I think we are right there. I can't say the day nor the hour as far as how long, but I can tell you it's just right there. Too much is going on. Let's talk about that. You remember about that the thing that China, they said there was in the air, they shot another one down. See what people don't understand, y'all. China own this country. Okay, the UN and all of them know that United States don't own this country. They already know that. Everybody know that. I'm gonna tell you like this: all the elites know it. But these people here in this country here, they don't even know their country is gone. They still think that, oh, what China doing this, and they spying on us, baby. They own this place. You know, it's never been a time where anything can come into this country without this country blowing it up. They can't do that anymore, y'all. I'm telling y'all, where we at is not where we were yesterday. They can't. The United States just can't blow up stuff or destroy something. Look how long they let that first one stay because it wasn't up to them. It wasn't. They knew what it was. They just it's to get the people focused off of what they doing uh underground. Now it ain't even underground. The father said don't even say it's underground. It's not even, it's in the opening. But to get the people into their mindset of being deceived, because that's what the people are. They are totally deceived. Everything that's taking place. And I wish I could say that they don't see it and it's they doing this to them. They don't, but all that them days are over, y'all. Everything is plainly understood. Everything is plainly seen. People who just wants to find reason to why things are happening. That's what you see on these devil platforms. People want to have something to talk about. They want to find something to say why things are happening in this way, because they don't want to accept the reality that all of this stuff been prophesied. It's all been handed down to us and been revealed to us, but we don't want to give them uh, uh, we don't want to turn that loose, especially things that has already been prophesied. We don't want to accept it like that. And the truth be told, a lot of them be trying to prepare for this, for this, for this. They get on here one day, they talking this. Next thing they talking against what they talked yesterday. Next thing they talking about this. Next thing they talking about this. This is all over the place. But it's just no one is rooted in no type of spirit and truth, no light, no guidance of showing people that they have a you get on here, you don't hear people talking about any relationship with Yah at all. I don't know if y'all noticed that. Nobody has a relationship with him. Okay, but they know the book, they know Hebrew, they know Greek, they know all these other lost books, but do you know him? Do you have a relationship with him? How do he deal with you? Do you deal with him? Do he talk to you while you sleep? Do he give you visions and dreams? Do he speak to you early in the midnight hour? Do he wake you up in the midnight hour? When you first wake up, is he speaking to your spirit? Or do you, I mean, just all kind of, they don't, stuff like that, they don't have no connection, none whatsoever. It's just like it's just here. This one man got on there, French or whatever his name, uh 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 French or whatever. He talks about numbers and colors and all that. He just announced that they're finna do something to his page, and that he's gonna be going on Rumble, and that, and he said something that just threw me all the way on left field. He say he gave them his Rumble page, and then he gave them his Cash App and said he needs funds, and then he said he got 20,000 subscribers in 1 week. And the week before that, it was 40,000. And I think the week before that, it was 40,000. I'm like saying, you're getting all of that. And then you know what he said at the end? YouTube is my YouTube is my way of living. It's my financial way of living. I'm like, who trusts in YouTube? Who trusts in YouTube? See what I'm saying? And when I heard that, I was like, the devil platform is your financial. It just blew my mind. Is that he's actually telling people, anybody who want to support, you can support me on Rumble and my Cash App, being so if they close me down, I'm not going to have any finances, because YouTube is my uh way of living. I'm like, I'm like, See, I knew that. I knew that people make this thing they paycheck. You can't trust in the devil to pay you like that. But that's the way they do. That's why they not caught up in, oh, I'm deceiving the people, I'm telling them a lie, or giving them spirit and truth, or I'm giving them the light, or I'm showing them the light, I'm telling them which way to go. They're not caught in that. They caught up in giving you just information to make you keep coming back for more and more and more and more, and support them in their ability to continue to bring you information. None of it spirit and truth. None of it has the light. And I'm like, because he deals with colors and numbers. Yeah, he deals with colors and numbers. But when I heard him talk about that today, I was like, and he tries to cover the demonic stuff that's happening in the world based on colors and numbers. And yes, is it some connection? It's somewhat some connection, but where is the righteousness in it? Where is your righteousness? Where is your light? Where is your spirit and truth? There's some. right in it because of the colors that the people he said be having on, and the connection, him connecting the dates and stuff like that. But it's not stuff that's righteous, found under the righteous will of the Father. It's just stuff that he's just putting together based on what he's learned for years. And he's about my age, and it's just amazing how he said they finna take his page off because he's revealing a lot of that demonic stuff that's going on in the world. But what's the sense of using that? What's the sense to have all that demonic stuff on your channel 24/24 trying to reveal Satan? Satan plainly seen. You don't even have to reveal something that everybody can see. Everybody know it. All you do is look at everything that's going on. You can see Satan in it, the beast already in his seat, and you see everything. So what is it that you supposed to be? But that's just how it just blew my mind when he was saying it. And yep. A lot of them doing that though. Yep, I was shocked that he had a. It's a sad thing though. It's a sad thing. It's just. So okay, then we're going to end here, and we're going to do that tomorrow. Let's make it for 8 p.m. Central Time, and we're going to try it. Try just being a place where everybody can, communicate and talk. Let's try that. I think it's a good idea too. I think it's a good idea. And like say if somebody says they could say, well, okay, the father told me this, or he said this, or he showed me this. And then just bring it to the light so we can see the light shining brighter and brighter and brighter. Because this other stuff, unless we gonna go on the wicked end and start telling everything that's on the wicked end, he said all that's left, Deborah, is wicked and evil. So you might as well try to find those that are marked that's not falling under that category. Because if you keep, and you know what, I'm doing really good with not even listening to no more of those that's on there, because he showed me that you know where they at, you know where they stand. So why are you even listening to? I said, yeah, Father, I know. And I've done pretty good. It's been 2 weeks now. So I thank the Father for that. Yep. All right. So okay, Sister Deborah say I will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. And I hope you all got plenty to say. And let's try something new tomorrow. So Sister Deborah, I have to go in here and continue to make the meals for my mom. She going into surgery Wednesday morning, and I'm doing all her meal plans, and I'm preparing it so she have a knee surgery. I'm preparing it so she don't have to worry about fixing herself something to eat and stuff like that. I'm starting off with 14 different meals, and then for that week, for lunch and dinner, seven, and then seven for dinner, seven for lunch, and then I'm going to see if she want me to continue, which I think she will. But I got to finish preparing her food. So I will see you all tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. Now you all have something to say now. Don't have me sitting up waiting for you all to say something. Good night. Shalom and shalom. Y'all gonna have something to say. I know you will. Shalom and shalom.